I got to get that footage from G.
Hey, stay. But welcome back to the To Be Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P.
Over here, real.
It's Q.
And we back. Before we get into it, want to tell everybody, lock in with us, tap into the chat, comment below, hit subscribe, follow us on all social media at the To Be Fair Show. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Let's get to it, man. How y'all boys doing? Y'all ready?
I'm cool.
Yeah,
I got some power now, bro. My power's back on. Came back on like 6. Like 6 yesterday afternoon. Was out like a day and a half.
They said no one man should have all that power.
That was fucked up.
Just give a little bit of.
The worst
just
part,
enough to let my outlets work.
Exactly, bro. At least my refrigerator was off for a day and a half, so the freezer thawed all the way out. Everything in, we had to throw away everything, and we had just went shopping, bro. That was like $200, $250 down the drain, and I don't have a stamp plug now, so that's like out of pocket $250.
And I shout out to the stamp plug. The stamp plug came through this week.
Hey,
the stamp plug is part of Black culture.
Stamp plug, bro.
That is Black.
That is Black culture.
That is Black
Reach out, inbox me on IG.
Hey man, some of the stores didn't. They stuff thawed out and they still sold it too. Like the next day, I seen it.
Oh damn.
Oh yeah, and
I didn't think about that part.
Shout out prayers and blessings to everybody in the western side of the state.
Yeah,
sure.
Anybody up there, y'all be safe. Call your people that's up there. I think the cell towers was out. I got some people up there.
I had family up there. You made it out.
Couldn't even call. Yeah.
Oh, so that's probably why the guy came through and was looking at doing repairs on my house, and he was saying that his aunt was up there and he couldn't get in contact with her. He didn't know what to do, and that's probably what it was because the cell tower was out. He didn't know though.
Bro, we had a customer driving from Virginia. I don't know why he chose to drive during the hurricane.
Crazy.
And got stuck in that shit.
Why would you do that?
The interstate was underwater, so he couldn't even make it.
That's crazy.
He probably wasn't looking at the Weather Channel, to be honest.
It's a whole hurricane.
But it wasn't even just the energy. Some of it was broke, like in half. I seen some of the pictures.
I-40 washed away. 26 was underwater. It got crazy.
Dang.
Yeah, I had a cousin that was stuck up there. He made it home somehow. I don't know how all the details, but yeah, it's been crazy.
Got it. All right, fellas, y'all
ready? Y'all gotta switch it up, bro. Y'all gotta switch it up.
This can't get y'all the same way every week, and y'all still come back the same way.
I'll go first. Real and Q. You said you got some good ones.
I think I put
Oh, you letting Real go second today, bro?
Making them.
Bro, mind your
business,
business.
You making them.
Mind your damn business.
That's right, bro. Make that dude submit, bro.
So first one I want to go with is the very first one, top left corner. I was just in Walmart earlier.
Talking about right?
But why you still go to Walmart, bro?
No. Well, that's a good one too. Hit refresh. I just sent them in. Walmart is way too grown not to have Apple Pay.
I agree.
That shit is stupid.
I definitely
agree. I was tapping my phone.
That's the most annoying thing about Walmart, in my opinion. I be going there and like I'm synonymous with just leaving my wallet wherever. Like I walk out the house and not even bring my wallet because it really don't be matter.
You don't need it.
Yeah. And Walmart be the only place you'll fuck around and get to that cash.
You gotta
register.
go all the way back to the car.
God.
So what you did? You just you got your ID number memorized, your driver license number?
No, I just got like an extra one in the car.
Oh, okay.
They say if you have the app, you can use it, but I ain't.
Oh yeah, you do have the driver's license.
Just fix it. Stop going to Walmart. That's big back country. And then secondly, get out Walmart. The iPhones, bro.
They ain't got Samsung Pay either.
Oh, they don't got Samsung Pay either.
Hey, but they got Google Wallet. They got Google Wallet, so it's Samsung.
No, Walmart don't got.
They ain't got no tap to pay.
Yeah, you can't tap to pay.
You gotta pull your card out.
Oh, damn, that's crazy. I mean, I don't shop at Walmart no more.
Oh, damn, they ain't got tap to pay at all yet?
Nah.
That don't seem right. I hate gas stations that ain't got tap to pay. I was just in one.
That's wild. But let me get top right corner. This is a good one too. So I thought tequila was gonna make the clothes fall off.
Dang.
Did she, Johnny?
Is that in reference to anything? What made you put that in there?
It just came across my algorithm. I don't know if it.
It wasn't lived experience at all.
It's the algorithm. Just the
Oh,
algorithm.
I figured you related.
The algorithm put that one up there, so I figured I throw that one in there. And then let me get old buddy in the Jersey.
Y'all ever seen what's the name of that movie? With Jordan Peele. What's Jordan Peele's first? Get Out. You ever seen Get Out?
Yeah.
And how them white women be hunting black men? Never mind. We can move to like a different topic. Go ahead.
And we were just talking about this. We were talking about the newspaper calling, looking in the newspaper to see the box scores.
Oh yeah.
TV Guide channel. This was another early 2000s classic.
Yeah, unlimited minutes kick. Yeah. No, that was a vibe.
Right.
That nigga got the Nas part. In
Oh no,
that nigga was completely Nas right there. But yeah, that was the time to be alive.
That was when you had a girl. You had a girl.
Oh,
you know
bro,
what I mean? And you was trying to cake. You had to wait to cake until 9.
Bro, I remember looking at the phone like this.
Mm-hmm. then they push it up to 7. Didn't they?
They did 7,
and then that was all right right there.
Yeah.
We
didn't even have iPhone. That was back when you had the Motorola Razor.
Yeah.
Flip phones. And then I just got one more. I'm gonna get up out of here. Scroll down under Andre. This is one of my favorite memes of all time.
Down. All down. Yeah, did you get it all down? All down. Hold on. You talking about the oil change? Yeah. So why don't you just say that? I mean, what the fuck? Every time I come over here, you only gotta take me through this homosexual rigmarole, man, with your terminology, man. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Man, just come on, man. Finish cutting my hair. I ain't get the fuck out of here, man. Come on, cuz.
Nigga, you trying to talk too cool, bro. You just say it.
Shit, I'm at the end now. You want me to get you from the back? Get me from the back. See, this is the fuck I'm talking about. Take this motherfucking cape off. Get me from the back. You talking about taping me from the back? Did you get that thing all down?
Did you get that thing all down?
Hell no.
That's one of my favorite memes of all time. And
Hey, the funny way is when they be doing, the air joint, and they get their lips and shit.
Yeah.
That shit's hilarious.
But yeah, that's all I got for today. I'm gonna hop out.
All right,
A couple little quick ones.
Let me see what I got in here today, bro.
Hey, he got permission to go, Johnny.
Man, find something else to do, Tone. How about you find something else to fucking do? You could just click one, bro. I got some pretty good ones. Those last maybe like 6 are pretty good.
Where there was somebody older than me. The matriarch of the church pulled me aside and she said, "Did you ever know Derek Prince?" I said, "No, I never knew him." She said, "Well, I hosted him. We were driving him back to the hotel. And my husband and I turned around, he's weeping in the back seat of the car. I'm like, Brother Prince, what is going on?" He said, "I see an attack coming against the women. And if the enemy can get the women, he will get the children." It's crazy. Even in the book, when I was studying about the roots of the current wave of feminism, all about breaking down the American family. They decided we're going to corrupt the men because they're easily corrupted because they're outside of the home. Then we're going to tell the women that being in the home makes them prisoners. And we're going to preach women's liberation. Now, I've been alive since 1960. I saw the sexual revolution. I saw no-fault divorce. I saw birth control pills, access to divorces, making it super easy, access to everything that would undermine commitment. And this has not led us into a good space. What does woman
I could have
have?
saved that one for my my topic for today.
Hey, that's why you should have been choosing.
Yeah, what y'all got any response to that?
She was just talking about like all women as like a country, or was it like specific like black women, or was it?
I think she was talking in
just
general.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been talking about black women.
Why you say that?
It's like both of them. Well, one of them was white.
Oh,
the other
okay,
one looked
okay.
like he was like some version of an ethnic.
Yeah, I was just asking that to see if there was like a specific, you know what I mean? You were thinking like black women kind of weren't a part of what she was saying. That's what I thought you were saying. Shoot.
Talking about like feminism, like what is that? Third wave feminism, second, third wave feminism. Yeah, I'm sure black women are part of that.
Okay. Give me that one right there with the light skinned girl right there. Yeah.
The man you actually want is not interested in your money. The man you actually want does not care about that degree. Not that he doesn't care about it, but that's not what he's focused on or worried about. That's not what's going to raise his children.
Exactly. We're taught that our value is in our career and our money as women. Is our value is what do you bring after 5? After 5 p.m. when the job is closed and you're just sitting on the couch with him, where's your value then? What conversation do you have? How fun are you? When is he saying, ooh, I can't wait to talk to Coriel. I haven't talked to her for a couple days.
Are you even fun? Do you smile? Are you fun to be around?
Do
you enjoy each other's company? Like all of that. All of that. The common sense that, because we got all these degrees and all these accomplishments, but the lack of common sense when it comes to dating is just like, how come?
It's not so common.
It's not common at all. There's no logic. It's all feelings. I feel like he should just take me as I am. Why would he do that?
He doesn't have to.
He does not have to. He doesn't have to. The man you actually.
The part that got to me was like, what do you do after 5?
But I don't think that's just for women though. I think men.
That's why I wanted to talk about that one part. Like just that's what stood out to me. Which my wife doesn't work, but like for what's the average relationship now? Of course, both people are working, and so what you do after 5 is what will keep the relationship together. Like when she said that, like being excited to talk to your old lady after work, like you know what I mean. Like what is that like? How do you actually build that to where you know what I mean? If y'all working and like the kids at school or whatever, y'all spend pretty much more time away from each other than you do together.
Oh yeah, well you see it with the old dudes at the job that don't ever want to go home. That after 5 ain't popping over there. Like the man, he want to hang out with all the young guys and want to go do everything but go home after work.
And a lot of guys in like my dad's generation, including old head, you know what I mean, senior, he would like make up work to do after work so that he didn't have to come in the house. That's why he was always working on something. He'd be out there, you know what I mean, cut the grass, then start working on a car and all kinds of shit until the sun go down just to go to sleep and go to work so that he didn't have to deal with the family at all.
Well, a lot of men did that, especially like down in the country. Like it's very common for like most dudes to have like a workshop or a shed in the back. And even my pops, he get home from work and take his ass out there.
I ain't gonna lie.
That shed.
I literally had to not have a man cave for a decent period of time because I could see myself coming home from work, going right in there all night until it was time to go to sleep and not actually interacting with. You know what I mean? So like, I just had to be honest with myself. Like, of course you would want to go in there and talk to the homies after work on the headset or like whatever it is, make beats and just isolate yourself because you had a rough day or you just worked all day. You know what I mean? You want to, and so I do still take maybe an hour, maybe 30 minutes to an hour to, you know what I mean? Just kind of decompress, right, to decompress at the end of the day. But I literally had to not have a man cave, and my thing is like to keep the door open. You know what I mean? If I am in there, I just keep the door open so that they can, you know what I mean, come in and I still interact with them because I know for a fact it's easy to just go in there and, you know what I mean? It's easy to do that. And that was a problem in my marriage, you know, earlier on when the kids were younger, is that I was like, you know, it was so much that I would just like kind of isolate myself. And, you know, you got to, you know, that's the thing about relationships, bro. I love the topic because it's like a never ending learning process, just like children. It's always something that you can do better and like a way that you can, you know what I mean, test different things and stuff like that. But yeah, you had anything?
To what they were saying, I guess I would say, I mean, there's nothing really to disagree about. And I think Johnny hit the point that it's not like specifically for women as much as like everybody. Like a guy can get caught up in like how much he provides and makes. A woman, how many degrees, or like what, like, you know, like all these other different things that don't do with the actual part of enjoying each other's company. Actual compatibility. And that's where I think that even inside this meme, what there was more so pointing out is the fact that we be having these checklists and we forget about like the actual compatibility part. Like, and that's like one of those things that is often overlooked when we just have any of these conversations, where there's so many things that you do overlook if you enjoy that person's company. Like if that person's like really funny or really silly, or like y'all enjoy like a very similar thing and y'all really bond with that, or like you can kind of go down the line of it, where compatibility is a huge overlooked piece inside
chemistry.
Entities, chemistry, compatibility, the fun. Like I think it's so easy to forget to actually have fun or be fun with your partner.
Especially when you got like the whole family dynamic, bro. Y'all can definitely lose yourselves in responsibility and forget to have fun with each other. So I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, and I say like sometimes, like when you were saying about the checklist, people find motherfucker that check every box on the checklist completely,
be boring as hell,
and they hate that motherfucker. But you sleeping with a checklist, and the motherfucker ain't got no soul. Y'all you be bored every night. Ain't no magic after 5, but all the boxes checked. So you happy. So I see that a lot. You gotta watch out for checklists.
Yeah. Okay. Give me this is my last one. I'm gonna tap out. Give me buddy the Joe Budden podcast up there. Well, actually, that was a really good one too. Yeah. Can I get 2 more?
Oh, yeah.
Give me is that what's his name? The light skinned dude on Joe Budden? Ish. Yeah, give me Ish.
Nowadays, I think it's hard as hell to be a parent. Just being a parent, dog, is hard. And the way the economy is going, it's going to even get worse. I think today, I would tell kids to hold off on having children because you need to set up certain foundational things now before you have them. You agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
For the guy that hasn't built that foundation.
Don't have no kids, yo. Don't have no kids, bro.
No, fam.
No, bro, don't have no kids, yo.
You absolutely right.
I agree with
absolutely
that.
right.
I do.
I'm telling you,
I'll take
yo.
a step further. You really should be trying to date too much. Bro, this shit different out here, yo. Joe, you know how much daycare costs? Fuck daycare. Don't even make it to daycare. Formula.
Diapers.
If you can find formula.
If you can find formula. That shit is $14 a bottle on sale. Nowadays,
I don't know what kind of formula that nigga getting, bro. For the 14.
I think he was just saying a little bit.
He's about $14, bro. I don't know what he was getting. That ain't even. Good morning.
Yeah. So I guess what did he say? Not to have kids until you're financially stable. I think that is the that's what I advocate for.
Well, that's what we
having
talking
kids
about last week.
A little bit later. I think that this generation in general does that. I do disagree. Well, I don't think that this is like a specific thing to this generation though. I think that this generation just has like the mouthpiece to broadcast it, so we get these messages and stuff like that. But I think that when people were having kids when they were younger, back in the day, they were struggling, and it was struggle parenting that was happening. So it's not like today inflation is just making it to where you shouldn't. We shouldn't have been having kids earlier back then without a foundation as well. But I think now through whatever means, it's been more consistent that people are having them late, and I think that's positive.
Well, what do you think when you say foundation? What do you think all that encompasses?
I just imagine that would be at minimum a steady place to live at, a steady income to where like there's consistency within that, and then hopefully like a steady foundation with the mother of that of your kid.
You got anything before we move forward?
No, I mean that's just what we was talking about.
That's what made me put it in
last week. Was just, I mean, it just makes more sense. Outside of financially, just wisdom. The later you have kids, just the more better of a more seasoned person that you're gonna be. So it's gonna lead to more stability, consistency, all the tools that kids need. We're way better able to provide it 35 versus 22.
Yeah, I like that last part you said too, because like when you have them a bit, damn, my thought just ran from my head. When you have them a little later, I believe that it allows you to like be a little less selfish. Yeah. You know what I mean? As you kind of season, you start like realize like you especially if you planned it. You know what I mean? If you planned it, it's like, you already know that this is going to be more of a selfless service thing. That's, much more important than self. And then give me that last one, Tony, and I'm gonna tap out.
All right. Y'all want to go through these comments real quick though?
Yeah, for sure.
What it do, nephews?
What up?
You can be compatible with someone and they not meet your checklist, and it can go vice versa. But if you look for true relationship in today's society, you need to find someone that equals your yoke.
Fair.
Good evening, sons.
What's up, Mom Dukes?
Is this live? Yep, we live.
And like that, we live.
You see, I didn't have my first child till I was 36 years old, and I'm still trying to make sure things are what they need to be relationship wise. Things get weird and wild out here. Just be safe.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just give me that last one, and then we done.
Right here.
Yeah.
Are you married?
Yes.
Oh,
cool.
Yes.
Is he happy?
Awesome.
That's a weird question. Usually they ask if I'm happy.
Yeah, but like it's a different kind of an interview. I'm just, because he's not here, like I want to show my care for him as well. Is he happy? Your answer is yes, no. You don't wanna answer that question.
No.
I think it's okay. I think we got the answer.
Who we?
That's me and the camera guy. You got it, bro?
Well, fuck. And fuck.
Are you?
Yeah, that man ain't happy.
Yeah,
and then
it's
why she had to be
obvious.
so mad about like she got hot about it.
It's like he was speaking French when she said he happy. She was like, "What?" She ain't even at that
Understood the concept of it.
Yeah, she didn't even have a concept of his happiness.
Like it seemed like she was offended. He didn't ask about her happiness. Like it had to be synonymous. Like if he's asking if he's happy is synonymous, meaning that I don't get it. That was terrible, man.
Hey, it's so funny. When I looked at it, I was like, damn. You know what I mean? We as socially, I think that it's getting better. And then that's gonna go into my question later. Like kind of where do we see relationships? You know what I mean? Or do you think that there's like we'll get to it. Like we'll get to it. But yeah, I'll tap out there. You can go ahead, brother.
Okay. Got you. Yeah, Tom, pull this up. I wonder where she's from and what does she do? That's what I'd be interested to know.
That's what people in the comments were saying too.
What
they was trying to justify, like.
I'm not trying to justify. I'm just interested in where she's from and what she does. To where, I guess it sounds like she said usually when she gets interviewed, they ask about her and shit like that. But it's not a justification. I'm just interested inside it.
And Tom, what did you see in the comments? I wanted to hear what you were saying.
A lot of people was talking about trying to prove why she was right or why shouldn't nobody say anything about her saying something. Y'all don't know what's going on in her marriage and all this stuff. Like, bro.
All right, bro. We'll address that. We'll go ahead, bro.
Oh yeah, go to the messages, please.
Oh yeah, you did say using messages.
Yeah. Scroll me up. Hit that Facebook link first. When we talk about meme classics, in my opinion, this is one of those ones. Start him over. We got to get this one from the top right here, Tom.
I guess.
Gotta make sure they watching it too.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Had to set it up. You got set.
No, hurry up, nigga. We ain't got a second.
I take my time like I do.
All right, so
we don't got a second.
As we talk about meme classics, to me, this is one of those meme classics. If you could start them over real quick.
Who go in ambulance
I never seen this.
If you go in the ambulance car, everybody.
What's up with that?
Everybody. Who go in the ambulance car, everybody.
Hey,
bro, going platinum in his head.
Back. All right.
Hey, hold on. Wait. One thing I noticed. That was a white barbershop.
I don't know where you got that part at.
Look at white boys behind him.
I ain't seen the white people.
That's where you get your haircut at, Johnny?
No, I go to the Dominicans.
Oh, the Dominicans.
Oh, he go to Supercuts.
The Dominicans can cut anybody.
Oh,
Is it Supercuts?
I'm still a black person, bro.
What is it called? What is the name of the barbershop?
It's macaroni, something like that. It's
macaroni.
It's a Dominican spot. It's a Hispanic term.
Gotcha.
It's South Boulevard and Archdale, right behind the Wells Fargo.
Oh, you trying to give a nigga some promo?
But yeah,
I didn't even get the name right, but
right, that is true. Yeah, no, I thought that there's so many interesting pieces to that meme that's funny, but just imagine how like specific your demo is if you're saying everybody that's ever rolled in an ambulance car.
Ambulance car.
That is actually how I say that word. Like if I'm like say
ambulance.
Ambulance.
Yeah. Ambulance.
Tone, scroll up. I want to have a little more fun before we get into it. Keep going. Let's start with that couple at the top. I thought that this was funny.
What Bryce Young?
Everybody.
What do you? I ain't got no reason to cheat. So you gonna spend the rest of your life in prison? Yeah. You know you can come back from cheating, right? Yeah. Life in prison or cheat on your girlfriend? Life in prison.
That's the smart answer.
Why? Why would I cheat?
No, fuck that, bro.
Why would I cheat?
No need to line that hard.
Oh, bro, no, he gonna wear that one too. Like he had to say that.
Oh no, he did the right thing in the moment
to say that.
But the caption also is true. Niggas be lying so quickly. Go to the one underneath.
Hey, did you know what you gotta watch out for? Is the dude that be like the swap phones test.
Oh yeah,
like if you would.
Yeah, that's swap phones.
Well, unless he be destroying relationships.
See,
I ain't mad about that.
Nah,
Like,
you should be
don't
doing
be
that.
doing
Yeah,
that.
that's all. Like you won't.
I agree 100%.
Well, yeah, but people will go on.
Johnny
there.
wasn't expecting that answer.
Hey,
Well,
Johnny,
no, but I'm saying people go on there knowing they got shit on their phone, and then when he says
Well,
swap phones,
that's not how that works.
Yeah, everybody
Usually
don't know,
walks
bro.
up. He walks up random people,
Yeah,
and then they do the swap phone test.
yeah. That's
That's
how
the
the
part
only
that
way it
fucked
would
me.
work. Johnny, what you gonna do if like you seen the ones where they out eating and he reaching for a slice of pizza and she throw her phone back like this? You know what I mean? What was you gonna do if she do that, bro?
what you mean? What am I do? Like,
You still fuck with her?
I ain't see nothing on the phone, bro. I'm sure there's probably more signs than just a quick
Bruh.
phone.
Yeah. I don't want to know. He one of them guys.
Yeah, nah, fuck that. Honestly, if I was
So you gonna go through the phone?
No. I'm done talking to your ass. If I was single and I'm reaching for a slice of pizza and you got them grab your phone like that.
What you talking about? Like on the first date?
No, man, I'm talking about
like when is this
obviously
happening?
it doesn't matter on the like first date, but I'm saying if y'all are talking, we
Like,
know
so it's like your old lady. You
not
weird.
necessarily your old lady. I'm just saying like y'all talking. Or let's even say however you
Like,
want to
what
look at it.
version
Y'all
of
at the
talking?
stage where you know you exclusive.
Exactly. You know when you know what I mean?
You know when you get to that stage, like, nah, we ain't talking. I
Yeah.
can't talk to nobody else.
When you taking up, when you giving a lot of time, when you start putting the next level of amount of time into it, and she pull us phone back like that, you still gonna talk to her?
I mean, it's a red flag for sure. But I mean, what you gonna do? Just walk out the restaurant right there?
That's what niggas do. You ain't
Niggas
never
be
seen
walking
it?
out the restaurant.
Yeah, niggas are just bail. Niggas just bail. I done seen it many times.
bro.
So
Over
you talking about like on the internet, or you talking
Of
about
course
like
on the
in real
internet.
life?
I
Oh,
never
like
seen it in
nobody's
real life.
just
That's a
bailing.
skit. I ain't
Nobody's
rolling.
just bailing because somebody grab a phone and you didn't see anything on the phone. That's a red flag. Like she's obviously hiding something, but you ain't got no proof.
Yeah, but are you still talking to her though?
I'm gonna have some questions for sure. Like,
So you still talking to her?
we gonna have some questions, yeah.
So you still talking to her?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You kind of like wiggling all around the shit, bro. I'm just asking a direct question.
Unc said
You is too though.
No, I'm not.
Unc said the dude in
Absolutely
the
not.
meme never had sex with nobody except her. If you could say sucker, look on the dictionary, his name would be in there for lame and sucker.
Talking about the nigga that lied. That's what we talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yo, if you
Nah,
say
he
old
was like-
lady, bro, she's supposed to understand. If nigga asks that question, of course you gonna say
He
that.
probably
the
be
real
cheating
answer.
all the time, bro. Like, he be
That-
cheating all the time. He
that be
just
the
don't-
thing. Yeah, I ain't mad at him, but niggas will lie when they girl right there.
Was
I
she
guarantee
Caucasian?
You step up. She looked like she was Puerto Rican or something. She wasn't.
She looked
white.
Caucasian.
She
to me.
looked
Go
Caucasian.
back to the
Johnny
meme real
said,
quick.
yeah, too.
Oh, now I'm the expert.
You know, Johnny know, bro.
Life in prison or cheat on your girlfriend?
No, she
Life in prison.
You got though. She could be Caucasian.
Why would I
Bro,
cheat?
she is tan. Nah, she might be black though.
Yeah,
Right,
like
right.
she looks.
She's probably mixed.
Yeah, I can give her mixed, but she's not white. She's not like a
So you gonna
pure
spend the
rape,
rest of your life?
Oh yeah, I was
Pure
just
Aryan
asking.
race.
It's not that serious.
She
I was
looked
just asking.
crazy though. She was gonna stab him if he would have said cheat.
Yeah, bro didn't even look. Bro didn't even look.
He
at her.
already knew. She looked crazy, bro.
But I also say, hey, listen, for the sake of your relationship, don't just get on the internet because a nigga walked up to you with a phone and say some shit that's going to endanger that car ride back.
Yeah,
it's okay to say
they
that.
be wanting to lie sometimes.
They finna fuck up after 5.
No,
right.
that's what I'm saying. You can
No.
say niggas be lying too quick, but like there is a portion of it where women want the lie.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not necessarily a reason for him to be like, yeah, I cheat on the ass. Like you don't win nothing there.
Yeah.
If this random guy at the mall, you inside Macy's, and this man walk up to you and he posts that, there's no reason to lie right there.
I cheat on him for 5 years.
Because that's what it's gonna start going down to. Now you got to put like a line in the sand of like, wait, how many years will you actually go to jail and not cheat on? Yeah, you saved that early. All right, fuck it. We spent too much time on this one. Scroll all the way to the top one. I got 2, and then we can kind of be out.
What's
here.
the top one?
The first one. At the most recent thing that's been sent.
Okay, that makes sense. You gotta clarify.
There we go. Shout out to A Black. I think that this post is from him.
Hey,
I want to say that
jail on the net, bro. He is hilarious.
Yeah, I got this from him, but if you're fluent inside more recent news, because you shared a screen, you shared a thing for and more recent, I guess quote unquote celebrity drama news, the whole Cardi B and Offset conversation or little back and forth that's happening on the internets.
So give me some background, bro. You know how
I think that I don't know a bunch. I think that they've been broken up a little bit, but they also just had a baby. And then she was on the internet at Paris Fashion Week talking shit about him. And then he got on the live and he said some shit like keep it real, you was having sex with other men with that baby in you or something like that.
Oh damn.
And then I think she said and did and some shit like that. And then then they was going back and forth. In which I think that to me, this actually sums up.
Hold up, bro. We can't glaze over.
We can, but we're gonna dive into it.
Okay,
I'm gonna just lay the whole thing out.
Okay, go ahead.
In which I thought that this was really good, where it says Offset and Cardi B both losers. You can learn a lot from them. But then I think that one right underneath that was really good as well. It said marrying a stripper, loser. Marrying a habitual cheater, loser. Having a lick back mentality, both having a lick back mentality, loser. Both bringing children into this environment, loser.
Facts.
Choosing not to leave a lot earlier, loser. I agree with this.
Simple math, too fucking
it's a little up there. I had to freestyle somewhere. I can't remember if I agree with the last one, but yeah, nonetheless, I thought that this summed up the entire thing. There's not a justification for like her to be cheating, especially with a baby in you.
What?
And
That's
then,
crazy to think that your baby mom's letting a nigga. Because when you think about it, bro, and hopefully not. But a lot of the times, niggas raw dog pregnant women, bro. A lot of the time, she's already pregnant.
You talking about dudes that be fucking with pregnant women?
Yeah. They be busting loads in them from like I've heard this being said. I've heard this being said many times of men that when I was younger doing shit like this. Like I've heard this thing, and so for you to let another
probably safest, like
raw dog,
I mean you can't get pregnant again.
But think about it,
and allegedly
right there in your baby's fluid. That's crazy.
Well, the baby's in a sack.
Well, it don't. Bro, I'm saying you still in the. It's still in the. It's. Come on, bro. That's a different type of disrespect.
Yeah, no,
that's a different type of disrespect. I understand Offset some shit,
but there's a dude that did it. He knew exactly who baby was like. That's who did it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He got a story to tell. That motherfucker got some tea, boy.
Yeah. That's
not,
rough, bro.
I mean,
they ain't even the worst part.
I also seen.
What else? What happened, bro? Because I don't know. I'm outside.
She said she slept with Takeoff.
Yeah.
Oh, she said those words.
Yeah, she said she slept with Takeoff
before they got together or during that time.
During the time, like I guess, yeah.
Damn.
But that's why the Migos broke up. To I think Offset tried to hit Sweetie or something. Quavo's chick. I think that's why they broke up to begin with. It was over a chick.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. But then it's also like, Cardi B, like this nigga dead. What? Like what?
Why
What is the
would you
purpose
do
of
that?
That's crazy.
What's
Like-
the purpose of even like?
Cause she
like, throwing
tryna-
it out? Because he
Oh,
can't
it's
even
because
defend
she trying to
himself.
cut him.
Yeah, she
You
trying
mean,
to
you know,
she trying to make that man jump.
hey, it's so crazy.
Like,
Like when you piss a woman off, bro, they try to go for everything. The worst shit, bro. They talk about all kind of shit.
Like if to say like a dead like there's no lick back for that. Like it's
Well,
That's
but then
crazy,
there's
bro.
no verification of that either.
but just the thought of it would make a nigga sick though.
Of course.
Like,
That's the
but the
whole
thing
thing.
is, like
You don't have no way to
be
prove
lying.
it.
Like if
you don't have no way to talk to them and
if
find
you know
out.
her internet history and the wild shit that she said online, like you have no idea if that shit could be true. Or if
that's
if it's
wild for a woman to put bodies on her to try to hurt you. To like put a fake body on.
Oh no, but you done seen that nigga be like, yeah, I fucked your brother. You know what I mean? Get hot and just say some shit like that. We've seen like that shit's happened. That's not abnormal.
Yeah, no,
I hadn't heard that part though, but I guess the other thing that I did see, which was kind of funny, kind of not funny. Or I don't know. He was like, "I won. You my BM," something like that, which was kind of like, in essence, it's the whole. But I fucked though.
Yeah.
Which I thought is hilarious that niggas still getting that one out.
Another loser joint that he didn't put up there was airing your relationship beefs out on the internet.
Yeah,
it's loser fucking behavior, bro.
Yeah,
like that's some shit. And honestly, on my feed, I haven't seen it in quite some time. I haven't seen like a spat go back and forth from like I think that like I haven't seen that in a minute. So I guess we are growing in that area because early internet you would see motherfuckers get hot.
I'm sure that the younger kids still doing it.
I believe, yeah, they probably.
I still see some older cats doing it, and it's only reason they on my timeline is because they family or something. But yeah, it's people still doing it, bro.
Yeah,
I don't understand
crazy
it.
work.
I seen some screenshots on the timeline a couple weeks ago. This ain't no, it's nasty where they start screenshotting from a baby daddy and shit.
Oh yeah, man. I don't know what you get out of that.
Yeah,
like, and then the worst part about it, from their history, they always get back together. So you do all of this shit. Says you fuck. Which one was it? Wait, I'll be take off. So you like, you know what I mean? Like what? You probably gonna get back together.
Bro, they just lusting for attention. That's how I see
them
it.
two.
Yeah, them two.
I don't think
like,
they.
I don't know.
Nah, to a degree, it's like they lusting for attention. I think that's the only reason you would even put that info out or to keep doing this over and over again because they done did this argument thing on the internet multiple times. Every time they bring it to the internet, I think it helps both of their careers every single time.
You know what I saw?
I don't see how that would help his career. Or maybe women want to listen to see if he said, but I don't think dudes.
No, not really. Well, I mean, to me, this is the first time I know of it getting like this toxic. Where usually what ends up happening, the thing that I've seen is Takeoff get caught cheating, and then Cardi B argues with the women that he cheated with, and then they get back together, and then Takeoff cheat on her again. And then it's kind of like the cycle. I haven't seen them specifically. I know they did just break up, but then he just now was in the hospital like 2-3 weeks ago when the baby was born, kissing. And then I obviously something happened and transpired since then. But I don't know. I guess I don't personally know of like them really going back and forth at this degree. But I don't know. Maybe Tony, you could.
They said they said it's black people's J-Lo and Ben Affleck.
Yeah. I was about to say ain't
Well, no. Or they just keeping their shit under wraps, but yeah,
I ain't keep too much up with it. I just seen certain stuff popping up. This ain't something I actually look thoroughly into. I don't care about it. Like, I think it's I just think like the meme that you showed that was
cheating on her.
Yeah, the meme that you had though, that was the perfect explanation for it. I think.
Yeah,
I think that was the perfect explanation for it. They look stupid, airing they dirt like, and what you added to it, airing they dirty laundry out on the internet looks stupid.
Yeah, bro. At some point, you got to go past that, bro. Like, as a grown person, that's not some shit that you should do.
Yeah, there's certain things like I would never.
Anything serious, bro. Like, what are you trying to
typing and hitting send? Like, you got to hit the send button. Like, you type all that shit out, look at it,
and post,
and then hit send.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, can I actually like? Never mind. We ain't gonna go down there, bro. Scroll all the way up to the top.
I would go ahead, but I would have heard.
I would have heard. Let's move on. I already know where that was going. I already know where that was going.
I would have heard.
We ain't gotta go there. Scroll up to the first RZA Islam one, and then I'm out. I watched this interview yesterday. Actually, it was actually a really good one. But the one above it.
Okay.
Shout out, brother Ben X.
Of all the religions on the earth, you don't believe that Christianity is the best religion, number one religion, and the best?
Nope.
And why not?
because of the evidence of what has been done in the name of Christ.
But
same thing has been done in the name of Allah. Same thing has been done in the name of.
So this is a different part to the question. So before he asked that, Jesse Lee Peterson does a really good thing. I didn't pre-watch this because I had seen it, but Jesse does the thing where he'll keep asking the same question for you to kind of like dive a little bit deeper. The first time he answered it, I thought his first answer was really good. In which he defined, Riz's, because he said no, but then he said because they're all equal in the sense of like being a good Muslim, being a good Christian, being a good Jew, all means the exact same thing in the sense of it's like following the word of God. And then he defined out like what Islam means, which is like along the lines of like following God. Christianity is pretty much like following the will of Christ God. And he did the whole thing with Jewish people as well. And the conversation went on. Then he re-asked him. So that's what this part is. But we can get into this part too.
You can't determine or base Christianity on human beings.
Absolutely.
No,
definitely agree. But if I just go according to the book, then we have to ask some questions. Because so first of all, which Bible am I reading? Am I reading the 1611, the 1611 version of it? Am I reading the Cloverdale version? Am I reading the Tyndale version? Am I reading the Catholic's Bible? Am I reading? See, first of all, again, it's because when you say Christianity, then you have to go down the line of which Bible should I read, right? King James, 1611. If that's the one, there's a whole lot of backward things in that Bible. Then you go to the Tyndale version. Then you go to the Cloverdale version. Then you go to the Catholic's Bible.
But
you have to know there are different
You can't base
scriptures.
Christianity on the Bible either.
How do you base Christianity?
On their belief, their knowing God.
Who knowing God?
The person who said they're a Christian.
But you said we can't base it off of the people.
Everybody that say that they have been born of God have not been born of God. They just say it. You can easily.
But you said we can't base the religion off the people, though.
You can't at all.
So how do we base Christianity?
You know it when you see it.
Know when you see it.
But let me ask you this: do you
How do we know it, Jesse?
Christian? You would know it by the light in them.
The light in them. So by the works.
Not by the words, but by the light that's in them.
How do you know
the light? You'd be able to see it, and you would know it. Now,
so you just see a light, like or you just see the energy.
You would see the light.
See the light,
yes,
like this light
in the person, even brighter than this.
Even brighter than that.
Absolutely. All religion on the earth, you don't believe that Christianity is the best religion, number one religion, and the best.
Nope.
Oh yeah. Jesse is so hilarious.
He probably was like
when you see it.
Yeah, he was a bad person to even have that conversation with just now. That was terrible.
Yeah. I'm gonna toss it in there if anybody have any commentary. If not, then I'm tapped out.
Oh, that was the only one you wanted to do?
Who, me?
I thought you wanted to show the other one. Whatever.
Oh, I can. Yeah, if we don't have, we can go to the next one.
Yeah,
I can't remember which.
I got some stuff, but I'd rather see the point you was making than because I actually don't disagree with what he was saying there. And
why don't you believe?
I don't want to get into that whole debate of what I think about it. I really don't care to do that today. So.
No, all right. So again, that first one, that's why once I heard it, because I'd seen the interview, I thought it was going to the initial part where he kind of like spoke about how, in his eyes, there's no better or worse one. And then he was pushing the point of like why Christianity is the better religion. And then he was kind of rebuttaling with that. That's what that conversation was right there. But you can go to this next one.
I just thought about something I do want to say on that. As far as like what Jesse Lee Peterson was trying to explain, like he didn't do a good job explaining it, and it's because he was trying to come from the wrong, like the place he was necessarily coming from wasn't a good place. It wasn't
intention.
The intention behind what he was doing wasn't good. So I don't think he had the words for it necessarily. But what he was really trying to explain, I'm not a Christian. I don't consider myself a Christian, but I believe in the Bible. I'm a believer of the Bible, and I'm a believer of the Word, and I'm a believer in Yahusha, like who people call Jesus. That is not necessarily Christian. The Bible and Christianity aren't synonymous. Christianity has been used to put people in slavery for a lot of different means, but it's not synonymous with the Bible. And that's the part I'll be trying to get people to look at. Like, read what that Bible say. You're gonna find out a lot of people who claim to be Christian ain't what they claim, but they don't believe in the Bible.
But he said something different though. His thing was he said, don't go off the Bible. And again, if you watch the full interview, like he goes even deeper into it. He says, don't even go because RZA asked him to quote a scripture.
Mm-hmm.
Like he says, like he'll just say a bunch of things in the Bible. And RZA asked him, like, so what scripture are you referring to? And he said, like, I don't go off scripture, I just go off my understanding. And that's what he was talking about. And that's why RZA asked him just then, so then we're going off the words of the Bible, right? Because that was his whole little thing when he was talking about the King James or the Catholic or the, like, he ran down a bunch of different ones of like, which one would be the one that we're talking about? So then we can kind of vet that information. But then Jesse Lee was like, don't go by the words of the Bible. Go by the person.
Oh yeah, he made himself look like he made himself look stupid. His intention was trying to. I don't know why he tried to twist up RZA Islam anyway. That's not the person that tried to twist up.
Yeah, nah.
Like that's
not on that specifically.
Yeah,
sure.
like please at least know what you're talking about. If you're gonna come talking to him, he'll entertain that. But don't come not knowing what you're talking about. And you got this intellectual in front of you. That's
no, but it was a good sparring match where like you'll hear RZA give Jesse Lee like his flowers of sorts a lot of times in the interview. Where he always goes back to like, I understand your interview style and what you're hinting at, but then he always had like a better countermeasure or like a response to it. Yeah. You can tell that he's seen a lot, but what I've seen a lot is a lot of quote unquote intellectuals going Jesse Lee Peterson and get tripped the fuck up because he'll set them little traps.
Oh yeah,
if you're not good at it, Jesse, and that's why I like him because like he's like one of those litmus tests to me. You know, he's gonna go down his own little line of things and he's gonna try and push you over here.
I don't know. He should.
And I like to see how people respond.
He should did his research, bro.
Buddy, what he said? He said, "Does God know what he said? Does God know that you gay?" Or something
yeah. He'll run them all off. I think that this is another one of those Jesse Lee Peterisms. If you want to go to it,
yeah.
Why don't you believe that Satan is the woman's god?
Oh, it's not just a belief. It's a fact that Satan is not the woman's God.
How
Satan is the God of those who choose to follow him, man and or woman. Satan is the God of those who choose to follow. Remember, now when Lucifer fell from heaven, he took a third of the angels with him because they chose to follow him.
I know all that, but why don't you believe that Satan is the woman's God?
Oh, because it's not true.
It is true.
Nope. Satan is the God of those who choose to follow him. You know that, Jesse.
Where'd you get that from?
That's in the book.
Where?
I just talked to about Lucifer in heaven and those who follow them. The third of the angels. You a pastor, Jesse? Come on now. You gotta stop playing.
Let me just ask. Did Eve listen to the serpent? And once she listened to the serpent, Satan, she can no longer obey her husband?
She listened to the serpent for sure. And as far as the relationship with her and her husband, they both got punished.
No, that's not what I asked.
I know what you asked, but I'm just saying specifically. So at that point, she didn't listen to her husband at that point, regardless.
When Eve listened to
according to the
serpent, she was out one day getting some collard greens and okras. And
so you're saying he was black?
And she would get some
candy. Hey, now, Jesse, you on to something.
And so when she listened to the serpent, is it true that she could no longer listen to her husband?
Hey, if that's what you say, Jesse, man, because I don't know which Bible you're reading.
Is that true or not?
Is it true?
Are you?
I'm asking you.
No, what do you say?
Because you're rewriting the Bible right now, so I don't know which interpretation or which version you're reading. But of course, she did listen to the serpent, as you said.
And
Satan.
When she listened to the serpent devil, is it true that she could no longer listen to her husband?
Sure.
And so once she listened to the serpent, he became her God. Because she no longer obeyed her husband.
Anything you give your authority or power to becomes your God. Like we said, because she chose to follow Satan at that time.
So Satan became her God.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Just like anybody who chooses to follow.
No, am I right about the woman? Satan became her God once she listened to him, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And then once Adam listened to the woman, did the woman become his God?
You could say that. Sure, Justin.
Is that true?
You could say that.
And so
that's not the book though, but I get you.
Now do you see that because of that order that went into disorder, that Satan is the woman's God?
Are you a Catholic? Because that's according to the Catholic Bible.
No, that's not even in the Catholic book.
No,
I've never heard any Catholic say that.
What? That's the whole belief system. That's why Catholic priests are over here having sex with little boys, just because they believe the woman is evil and she's the downfall of humanity. You serious?
Let's go back to this story. So
see now, look now.
Is that
Jesse
true?
Dancing.
So you agree with me that that's true, right?
But Jesse did walk him down a line.
It's true to you, Jesse.
No. You disagree that once she listened to the serpent, Satan became her God, and then once the man listened to the woman,
you said
the woman became the man's God. You say yes, that's true, right?
Well, whatever you say, Jesse.
No, I'm asking you. What do you say?
Hey, and it's not about what I believe right there. That's on you. and that's up with you
So
and,
what do
the
you
man
think
upstairs.
about that when it happened? What do you think happened when that happened?
Well, there's a difference when it comes to the whole story of Adam and Eve, because you have to look at something called the pre-Adamites, there's a difference there when it comes to those who came before Adam and Eve.
Too long, bro.
The dictionary.
I'm gonna watch that on my own time. Probably pull that one up tomorrow.
It was a good full interview. Yeah, I don't know.
I
thought it was.
I've never heard of pre-Adamites. I thought Adam and Eve was the first.
Yeah, I've never heard of that either.
So what would a pre-Adamite be?
Okay, so after Adam and Eve got kicked out of the garden, or even with like Cain and Abel, for instance, Cain went and there were other people. So, and a lot of people ask about that question. So apparently there was other people. I do know that much, but I haven't studied that much into pre-Adamite either. But I get the whole sentiment.
I have to look that one up.
I ain't gonna sit here and try to give no full idea, but I have heard of that actually. Now that I think about it, matter of fact, if we want to talk about it another time, we can at least do some more looking into it before.
I actually haven't researched too deep.
I know somebody
into
we could call.
Who? Ghostbusters.
Trey.
No.
The Hebrew Israelites.
Hebrew Israelites.
That would have been a fire one for them.
They would have.
Hey, they was out there. Shout out to the Hebrew Israelites, bro. They was in the hood yesterday. They be out there all the time, bro. They was in the hood yesterday.
They also got like the most
shirts.
Fire media team out of anybody.
Oh yeah, we do got to invite them back.
Yeah, we got to have them back.
We already.
Yeah, they did pull up like official.
Yeah, no,
like they put cameras right beside ours. They had lights.
Yeah.
Camera. Shout out to them boys.
Nah, they got a really
well-run machine.
Good
that was
a media team. I ain't gonna lie.
It was a fun conversation with them too.
Yeah.
I still want one of my shirts too. The tassels.
Yeah. But I guess I don't know. I thought that was actually like a good representation of like Jesse Lee Peterson at work a little bit right there. Of course, RZA is like he's savvy enough to understand like with agreements inside a conversation, because what is his name? Jesse, he was walking him down a certain lane of logic with specific agreements, but understanding how to maneuver out of that by only agreeing to that's Jesse's belief, not specifically his. Right. I thought that was like a really good little like sparring match, that last one right there, for sure.
All right. Any more commentary?
Nah. You got anything, Tone? Or
I got a couple today.
Okay.
Start here.
All right, y'all, the peep game. Have y'all ever seen women say what they would do if they were men for a day, and then you realize that women have the most unrealistic expectations of what it's like to actually be a man? Ladies, I'm here to tell y'all right now that if y'all were men for a day, most of y'all would check out of this hotel that we call life. Because, nigga, this shit is hard as fuck. Every time I see women talk about the things that they would do if they were men, the first thing I always see is, I would fuck a whole bunch of hoes. And that's how I know that y'all have no clue what it's like to be a man, because what makes y'all think that every man just gets a lot of hoes? If you were a man for a day, you'd be invisible to most of those hoes. So I don't know where y'all be getting that from. Like, yo, you used to be hearing girls say stuff like, oh, I love when I go to the grocery store and nobody hollers at me. If you were a man, that's just a normal day for us. Nah, for real though, because a lot of girls don't even shoot their shot because they're scared of rejection. And that's something we got to face on a daily basis. Another thing that be getting me is y'all be like, yo, if I was a man for a day, I'm going to have to see what pussy feel like. Shit, good luck getting it. Yo, you know the pussy that you're going to be fucking? This right here. Y'all women seem to think that it's just so easy to get pussy. Like, there's a certain percentage of men that can get pussy easily. For most men, they're not getting that shit. And another thing, do you not realize the shit that we got to put up with just to get pussy? Most of y'all are not going to do that. All right, y'all, the peep game. Have y'all ever seen?
Yeah.
So I guess, like, I understand what he's saying. What would be like a good answer for women to give then?
I've seen women say, and this gets deep, where they be like, I'd go for a walk at night if they was a man. And like, that's the one where it's not a joke, but they're like, because they feel safer in the world. But men, I'm afraid to walk in the park at night. And if I had to do it, I'd probably, like, we got guns, and like, it's not because I'm a man that I feel safe walking at night. Well, most men don't feel safe walking at night. We just do it anyway.
I think a lot of it's like you said, like even the idea of like somebody, you hear something downstairs, you and your wife upstairs, you hear something downstairs, And you got to be, of course, you got to be the one to go. That don't mean that you don't have like a level of emotion to go. You don't want to do the shit, but it's a part of what you have to do. You accept your responsibility to take care and protect your family. So it's just a part of what you got to do. It ain't like you come down there happy to goddamn see.
So courage ain't the
fuck
absence
going on.
of fear; it's the presence of fear and still doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you had courage to walk at night.
I'm here.
Shit, I ain't gonna lie. I used to feel like that walking
I'm
around
dark
over
skinned. I
there
just don't
on the
smile when I
west
go
side,
in.
over there in Mom Duke's neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like walking there by myself in that area. You know what I mean? And like on Beatties Ford Road back in. I mean, you still did it, and you know what I mean. For the most part, like that's the thing about the hood.
You ain't gonna lie. I never.
You definitely are us.
No, that's because you lived there though.
No,
I was living
I
from
guess,
my side of town to yours.
Oh no, I get you. But I guess, and this is one of those things that I always kind of say, where to me, like from my neighborhood, the neighborhoods around me, and like all the way up to Betty's Ford. You remember with like Deshaun and all them used to live at, and all that shit. Like to the outside, this is the hoodest of hood.
You just get shot walking down the street.
Yeah. Like so for me, I never felt like that.
Yeah.
And like I've walked back home from Deshaun in them house at like 10 p.m. 11 p.m. I didn't like 1 p.m. Like I and not felt like this quote unquote urge of scarcity, but not scarcity, being scared. But it's also because of like in general, like that whole area, like it's a community of like to an extent, you know everybody.
Yeah.
I think if you're an outsider in those spaces, you probably have a lot more fear.
That's what I was saying. Going to somebody else's hood and walking around their hood is completely different than you walking around in your neighborhood.
And I guess I was saying that to only say that, not even specifically my name, because that's more like the side of town. Once you go all the way up Statesville and get to Betty's Ford.
Oh yeah, but I mean, even all them neighborhoods, it's like so many.
There's
so many neighborhoods right in that
area.
To
where everybody kind of like
know each other pretty much.
Know each other. Yeah.
So like you just coming to Hidden Valley and walking through Hidden Valley at night, you ain't gonna just feel. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, this is the safest thing I can do. But like it's
with Hidden Valley, the trick anyway. Because it is like a previously middle class neighborhood,
for sure. 100%.
So it ain't nothing but homes in it. So you don't necessarily
it's apartments in there too.
I have to find that.
It's apartments in there too.
It seems as though like all the places I be driving at, it's a lot of homes, there's a lot of houses, in which like you could easily be thinking that you're inside a middle class neighborhood.
For sure. Especially if you're not from Charlotte. I remember this dude from CPCC.
Niggas outside.
Dude, that's how the hoods in the South be though. They're neighborhoods. That's why up north.
Well, not South, like Boulevard Homes, South Side.
Plenty of
like we
still got
like,
bro. Like we
still
still
Delaware Courts.
Yeah, they got apartment, but they're not like
fucking
shitting me.
But that's what South Side was.
Those were.
Yeah, Johnny, you just didn't go to the hood. You
don't know what
Southside homes.
But those are like small one-story apartments. Right?
Oh no, not that. I'm thinking about. Is that Boulevard Homes? What's
Boulevard?
Boulevard.
Yeah, okay, that's
on
West Boulevard.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a project.
Yeah,
that was a project.
Bro, it was plenty of them here.
But hold on, but I guess like in the same ways. All right, and I guess if we're going to like the New York version of project, which means like this one big ass building.
That's what I think when I think of like the PJ.
There's a bunch of like 1-story hoods inside, no matter where you go, like anywhere southern or west coast. Like New York is the only place you have projects inside. Like
that's all I was saying. That's all I was saying. It's like we not like they talking about like projects, and I ain't never been to New Orleans, so I don't know if they got projects there.
But I guess that's why we say hood. So
we say hood down here.
But even New Orleans, it's like this 1-story shits. It looked like Delaware Courts and all.
So those not really projects either.
I don't really. Well, I guess they say project chick, so maybe they use the word project, but
interchangeably.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Trey would have loved
project, all that shit's like.
Y'all remember that song?
He to put us in there.
Trey would have loved that.
Yeah, Cuckoo Cow. He was in Milwaukee.
Yeah, that was that song. In my projects be. All right, I got one of them. Well, really go into a couple of. I got a couple relating to the same thing.
Excuse me. What's this? I hear you guys will be implementing the Pandemic Preparedness Accord. I heard something about the U.S. giving away the citizen sovereignty to the World Health Organization. Can you answer that for me? He got 1,000 bottles of baby oil in his basement right now. Thousands of bottles of baby oil. All right, I'm not talking about P. Diddy. I'm talking about, like in the event of a pandemic, like when we had COVID and the lockdown happened and people had to get mandated shots, and there's been rumors going around. I'm reading, I'm looking, and I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. I'm just wondering if maybe you could clarify. Janet Jackson don't even think Kamala Harris is black. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm talking about a very specific topic right now. Can you answer that for me? Lil Wayne will not perform at the Super Bowl this year. Can you believe that? Forget it. But forget it. Maybe you can answer this. What are y'all gonna do about the inflation, the housing market? It seems like every year we get a raise, maybe 50 cents, $1 if you're lucky. But by the time the year over with, inflation and my dollar don't even match. What y'all gonna do about that? Ask yourself this: why would anybody need that much baby oil? Who need that much baby oil? Ain't nobody that asks you.
That's funny.
I
heard. I don't really like baby oil, but I heard they got like baby oil gel. I heard that's fire.
Like the aloe vera gel.
I guess because I don't like how baby oil feel on you. It's just weird. But we doing the thing that the government want us. So Tone. All right. So he hit inflation and he hit the government sovereignty act with making. I imagine it's talking about making Americans global citizens or something like that.
Yeah, that's essentially what's done.
So do you want to hit both of those topics and explain?
Yeah, we can kind of hit that. I'm gonna go to this other meme because she kind of explained some of it. So
okay,
just to help me out because I'm still reading through that Pact for the Future, and yeah.
You are now a global citizen. No, I'm not joking. In case you missed it, the UN just adopted a groundbreaking pact called UN Pact for the Future. 129 countries are adopting this. So while we're all distracted with the Diddy news, 2 days ago this was signed into law. We're talking about a global government, global citizens, global tax, global climate control, global digital currency, global tech control with promises to keep our children safe online, a global scientific panel controlled with AI, a global commitment to data management, a global commitment to get the future generations to buy into this global agenda, global gender equality, with a clear call to defend global rights defenders, whatever that means. When I read this, do you know what I see? Call me whatever you want. But this literally is a one world government. If you're concerned at all, I want to encourage you to contact your local government and ask them what they plan to do. Now, if you're already awake, then you know what's going on. And these things need to happen for Jesus to come back to save his people. But if you're not awake, then I want you to prepare. Because before anything ever gets better, it's going to get a heck of a lot worse. As George Orwell once said in the book 1984, the choice for mankind lies between freedom and happiness. And for the great bulk of mankind, happiness is better.
I don't like her voice.
Hold on. I'm gonna write down that quote. That quote's amazing, and I think that's like such a long conversation to get into.
And happiness.
Freedom and happiness. Most people choose happiness. But then it begs the question: what do you actually want? Real freedom, and what freedom actually looks and feels like.
That is
a lot of responsibility.
That is a good one right there.
Yeah,
I had a question about because she said global like 1,000 times, like she was trying to like that's a bad word. Global just means we're all like the way technology is moving, like that.
Global human rights.
That only makes sense because technology has shrunk the world. Like we communicate global. It's the World Wide Web. So I mean, there should be global rules that like if something happens that we all just can agree on.
But isn't it like the Geneva Accord, like a global rules?
Geneva Convention.
I think that has to do with war.
Yeah, that's about war.
No, but I know that, but
well, those are global. It's pretty much everybody that signed up. So like,
what's 129?
They signed into it. Say it again.
129.
Like all the niggas that's gonna be like really going to war.
So essentially, why this is an issue is that right now we are a country. As far as what's going to happen now that we are within this accord is that we are not in, like the U.S. is not in charge of the U.S. The UN is in charge of the U.S. The UN is in charge of all of it. So basically one governing organization is now in charge of a whole bunch of countries and what they do. So say something like,
but that's not what that was saying.
But that's what this whole bill is saying and everything.
Like the countries still have their own sovereignty.
Like you still have.
No, you don't have your sovereignty. When something happens, say there's a pandemic, for instance, and they decide that they want us to take like how they did last time. They tried to they mandated the jabs. So if they decide to do that with this, we have to do it. It's not a choice. There is no choice anymore. This is a we have to. We don't have a choice in voting.
But Tone,
we don't have a choice.
But Tone, the difference is that the UN is just a committee. It's just a group that gets together. They have no real like governing power. They don't have no military. It's not NATO.
But the WHO does. The WHO does. And when our country decides to sign up for it, they do have governing power. When you sign a contract with the UN saying that, hey, we're giving y'all this power and this authority to make these decisions, then they do have that authority because we signed the paperwork. Okay. That's done.
I'd have to look into it, but I think it's
that's
gonna
the
be
best thing. It's this, like my whole thing would be to look into it because I'm not saying that there is nothing to be to fear for within that thing, but I would say that like the easiest thing is to make it, you know what I mean, something to fear. It was.
I'm not even trying to make it nothing to fear. It's more so what I think so more is the problem is like people don't be worried about nothing. People always think people just be talking and they just like doing stuff for fun. These people, if you like, even when you read this, you're probably not gonna see nothing if you're not reading with the right eyes. Because what you're gonna read is you're gonna see some stuff that looks like it sounds good. But anytime that the government is saying, "Hey, we want to be in charge of your peace and security," it's not a good thing. So
that's what they do in America right now,
and it ain't a good thing. Like they basically when they saying, "Hey, we're going to take over for your peace and safety because y'all don't know what you're doing." That's when we lose more rights. This is literally what's done happened throughout history. And every time we lose rights because we decide that, hey, we need the government to handle this for our peace and safety.
Who's all in the UN? Because I guess it seems like it'd probably be really hard to have like certain sweeping mandates for.
Well, the UN has like 8. It's like 5 or 8 permanent like head countries. It's like us, Russia, China, Great Britain, and maybe like France.
Right. But if we just stop right there, those countries, right? Half of them don't even like each other. But
right, that's the thing.
But the other part of it is that like, what are some of the specific things that could be sweepingly anonymous across all of those countries?
That's the thing. I mean, like that's what I said. But hold on, my bad. I wanted to get back to one thing that she said toward the end and that y'all talked about on Unpack.
Oh, talking about being woke?
Was the woke shit.
She said
you was asking them were they woke to certain issues.
Yeah. I was walking them down. They was woke to anything besides for LGBTQ and women.
My thing is that
they was actually woke to women too.
At this point, bro, I don't want to be woke. I don't even like using that as for me at all. I don't fuck with it anymore. Like it used to be a thing that was fire.
Woke is like
now that shit is.
Yeah, you come out like the. We can find it out. It was like the 2010, 12, 08 to 2016, something like that. Like I forgot. Like I had like the whole little walk down of it. But go ahead, Tom.
Honestly, in that place where she said that though, she was clear. She was saying that she was explaining wake as believing in Jesus. That's what she was saying. She said that right after she said something about being woke. She was explaining that as believing in Jesus. So if you believe in Jesus, then she considers you a woke. If you don't, then she's saying you need to get a woke.
But I don't want you to put me in any of the woke, regardless if I believe or not. I want to be. I'm definitely putting that word over.
It's probably like 2025
over there, bro.
Yeah, that's what she was saying about woke. I don't know if that's the new. I don't think that's the standard definition, but that's just what she was saying. She said it right after.
Woke's like Harlem. It's been gentrified.
Shout out to BLM. But I guess if we touch back on that, like that a piece of that woke conversation, and I kind of intentionally do this with a lot of the different conversations, is that it always is interesting to me that people will disagree with like an overall structure, like a thing, but then agree with all of the tenets of said thing, but kind of don't want to get lumped into it.
Oh, you talking about how I feel about the FBA? You talking about me?
Well, I actually wasn't, but this is one of the ones where
I knew you. I put my stuff up there for
the shoe was there, but no, I was
hit dog with holler.
I was speaking more so about the woke, not the woke, the woke comment that you said, but because I intentionally did that, where when you walk down a lot of those issues, everybody agreed, besides for the LGBTQ one. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that was interesting that they all said they didn't like woke today. It's going too far, but agreed with everything.
No, but it was because they had to answer.
And we was cool with the LGB too.
I know. I was asking them the specific for each of them. So it's like you said, "Are you woke to this? Are you woke to this? Are you woke to this?" And so based on the way you presented it, you had to say,
"Oh yeah, woke or not woke." If you care, but we also defined what woke was so we could agree to that. And then it was
so which definition did y'all decide to use as the conversation was moving forward? I didn't see that part.
I think it was like aware of
the
systematic
oppression. I got the notes up there somewhere. I had to go to it. But it was the unpacks be so much, and then when you put in like 2 hours of after show, all that shit kind of like just blurs inside my mind. So it's hard for me to like specifically dial into like which conversation.
Every time he said, "Are you woke too?" I was like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
Are you woke to this? No, I'm not.
But
woke
you possibly could not be woke to those things. But all I'm saying is
I'm
that
talking
they
about
are
just the word woke. I understood what you were asking. It's like, are you aware? Is what you were saying. Are you aware of this? But using that word just fucking. It just makes me want to not have anything to do with the conversation.
Can I address a comment here real quick?
Is it like narcissist?
My Sharon has said, I don't agree with nobody trying to push nobody's religion on no one, whether you believe in Jesus or not. Jesus was a prophet. Man, stop doing that, bro. You don't even know where I was about to go. You talking some my Sharon, I wanted to ask, if you believe Jesus was a prophet, do you believe that what he prophesied was true? That's just the one question I wanted to ask.
So let's go to
but I do agree with like the idea of not specifically pushing your religion on anybody as much as like if you want to get your like say whatever your piece is, say it.
So is it pushing your religion on somebody to tell them about what you believe in?
No, I just telling them.
I just said that. That isn't like I think that everybody like whatever your opinion is about a thing should be fair. I think that when people push their religion and like castigate somebody for not believing in said thing, to me that's then when you start.
I would agree. I would agree with
inside that capacity.
Because I don't.
But I like to me inside like fair open conversations. All everybody is doing about any topic is expressing their belief system about that thing. Mm-hmm. And when we get to religion, I don't think of it as anything different. And to me, that would be the funner conversations as well.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I like having open conversations about stuff. This is one of the things that people say, because people say Jesus was a prophet, and they just say that. So if he was a prophet, that means he told stuff that was going to happen.
Within Islam, Jesus is a prophet.
Hold up.
They just don't think that
I'm cool. I'm riding with that thought, but I'm saying, okay, so if he was a prophet, do you believe what he prophesied about? Like, you can't say he's a prophet and not believe what he prophesied about if you say that you believe, like, and even Ma said right here, she said, I believe that he was a prophet. Muhammad was a prophet as well. So whatever he prophesied in Muhammad's prophecies with the truth. So if we look at what he was prophesying about, this is the stuff he was telling us about. So even when she's saying, are you woke in that aspect, she's not trying to push a religion. She's still saying the same thing. So like, I think everybody needs to open their eyes to what these books say, the Bible, the Quran, whatever you read. Pay attention to what they say in these last chapters and what they say is going to happen in the end.
Hey, and I can't say this too. Something that I'm dope that I've been seeing is like I've been seeing a lot more people getting saved, or not saved, but baptized on the internet. Like I seen De Niro, he posted on his IG, him getting baptized.
Yeah, they're doing it. What's the name of that big mega church in Charlotte?
Like 3 other
Elevation?
people.
Elevate, yeah, them elevation baptisms.
Yeah, but I done seen like 3 other people that I know get baptized, as well as a lot of the well, I ain't gonna say a lot, but a good bit of specific celebrities are like, you know what I mean, like getting saved, and you know what I mean. That's becoming like a thing. And it's happening more within like the last year to 2 years than I've seen in a long fucking time.
Maybe.
At least that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing a lot more people like trying to, because it's tough as shit out here. So like really trying to find something to ground yourself. Like people are really trying to find something to ground themselves in and to like have some faith in. You know what I mean? Something to like, we need it right now. A lot of people just feel like, fuck. I mean, look at the suicide rates. Like, niggas is checking out of here, bro. So like, you know what I mean? I understand that we're in a time period where people are trying to get closer to something.
Our suicide rates at like an all-time high right now.
Oh, you can look it up. I don't know.
I think a lot of people. I don't know. That sounds terrible. But
I mean, based on my understanding, that's what they pretty much push, is that they at like it's at a really high comparative.
Well, I think it's just the like.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm only.
I think sometimes that stuff just be trendy too, though. It's like when it's people are going because they see other people going, and I don't think.
I don't know if that's the case, bro. Like,
read Revelations and see what's in there, and tell me it ain't happening. That's it's not trendy that people are seeing stuff happen that they've been reading about, that have been around for years, and that they've been here. Like, part of the reason, because at a certain point I about lost my faith. Part of the reason that I came back was because I started seeing stuff that I had heard about in church the whole time I was growing up, happening for real. Like it's happening in front of my eyes. And even now I'm reading the Bible, I'm watching this stuff happen. And it's like this book has it all in there. So it's not just people believing. You can't say that if you don't read the book.
But like, is everybody that's going to church now? If they all read the book,
Bro,
and they're going, or
I
they just
I
going
can't
because
speak
it's
for all
hard?
of them, and
Are they
you shouldn't be concerned about them. You should be concerned about you.
I'm just saying.
We were talking about people.
Yeah, we're talking about the reasons of like why people are going to church, and I think it's.
But
like
I'm saying y'all trying to
I'm
talk
not trying
about
to minimize nothing. I'm just saying. I think when it's tough times, I think when it's good times, people aren't going as much.
No, that's true.
Now, when it's tough times, they're going. So that's a correlation between how tough the times are and how religious people are.
Well, but I also don't even think that like right now is one of the least religious times.
Yeah,
no, I agree. But what I'm saying is that it seems like it's coming back full circle, and I feel like that's actually a part of what is like kind of prophesied to happen. That I ain't gonna sit here and act like I read the Bible.
But go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it seems like from my understanding, the black people will start to come back into power. It's supposed to be like, or the whole shit everything going to shit, and then like black people kind of finding themselves and their connection to God. This, you know what I mean? And I ain't gonna, like I said, I'm not a person that just like sits and reads the Bible. Tone is definitely more fluid than I am for sure. But that, from my understanding, this is like, it seems to be playing out very closely to what was what I understand to be what's going on, what's in the Bible.
What thing are you talking about?
No, I'm just talking about like I can use my personal self. So like first, for me, I always pray. I pray more than I've ever prayed in my life. I'm praying like 3 or 4 times a day, not on some like on the Muslim thing, but like more on just when I eat, when I pray with my food, now it goes into like a whole prayer. Like, so every time I eat, and then at night I always pray. So I'm praying more. And then I used to use like something saying in Jesus' name. I stopped saying it. You know what I mean? So I was feeling like I was praying directly to God instead of like, because it just didn't feel good to me at a certain point. And then I started to change. Man, either way.
I think you I guess making a point about right now the times and people getting baptized being something of prophecy or something like that. That's what
I'm saying. What I'm saying is I can see that this is becoming much more normal. People going back to whatever religion it is that they choose to be in, but specifically not saying Christianity, but the following of the Bible, following the teachings of the Bible. I am seeing a lot more people that I've seen previously start to go that way. That's what I was saying.
Got you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess to me, I don't necessarily have like a perspective on it outside of just what I understand of the current time and like how less religious quote unquote people are. And then just the concept, same way I said the Israelites, they have like a really great media team. I think that algorithms feed us our reality to an extent, and which
for sure, that's a fact.
Like the Elevation Church, and that's why I'm saying like I've seen like their media team get like it's the big pool and the dudes outside in front of the little thing, and they dump you in and you dump you out, and like they've made it a thing. But it's hard for me to also say if this is increased or decreased because of like now it's just now hitting the internet. And like that's being promoted, but like people been getting saved over like years. People been going back to church over years. It's not like a new thing. That's it's almost like a cyclical thing.
Okay, so part of what I think Red was about to appeal to, and he didn't go all the way there, is that part of what the Bible appeals to is the same thing the Hebrew Israelites was coming here talking to us about who we are and about our people being redeemed.
Elevation Church is not doing that.
I'm not talking for them.
Elevation Church, bro.
No, but that's what those are like the majority of the ones. The Nero Ferrari, that was Elevation Church.
Okay, so I didn't know he was. So in explaining, like, okay, so if you heard me earlier, I told you Christianity and what the Bible say are not synonymous. They are not the same. Mm-hmm. So I believe in what the Bible says. I do believe that these things are coming to pass. I do believe that the people that are in the Bible are us, because like it's just too much evidence that it's us. Yeah, and I do believe that we're going to come into a time of redemption. And you're going to see this as people start to come back to the true belief, not Christianity, but the true belief. and learning his true name. Because, like I said, I refer to who people call Jesus. I call him Yahusha. That's his Hebrew name. People say God, I say Yahu, because God is not a name. God is a doggone title.
I ain't gonna fraud, bro. Ever since I started transitioning to sin like Yahuwah, it feels so much better, bro. It just feel like it makes sense. Like it feels right. I can't lie. That's just my experience, like transitioning over just the names, which I know that's not something to just overly simplify, but it just feels so much better. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Ma had a couple of comments here. I
transition.
Ma had a couple of comments I was going to address real quick.
How you doing?
Now I'm gonna leave this alone.
In which go ahead, you can read that. But then,
she said
like y'all giving like personal testimony and not specifically answering.
And that's all I can advise for. I'm not gonna tell nobody like do stuff based off of what I say. No way. But I'm saying like look for yourself and see if.
Oh no, I understand like belief system. I didn't think that. Well, I forget what the question was. Awoke, and like the idea of prophecies coming true as much as dealing as much as belief system as like being able to elicit what those things was. And that's why I was asking the question of like, if you're saying that you're seeing these things come true, I was just asking things and not necessarily like specifically your belief. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna run down these comments. But when she said if you're not believing in Jesus, you can't push that on everybody because everybody don't consider Jesus as a God. I still see that as one of those things. She didn't say you had to make a choice in being saved or anything like that. She said believing what Jesus. I think that I take it as believing what Jesus says. So,
but that also still does become like a Christian version of it because of
just hear me out.
Well, let me.
Because I wouldn't finish. You just cut me off,
Okay,
kind of like and I kind of lost my train of thought right there. But still, like I was saying though, I don't think everything is just like. Dang, never mind. I lost my train of thought.
So if in me answering, maybe it'll spark it. But in what she was saying still would go under the guise of Christianity because of neither or all right. So the Bible specifically as taught and understood through Christianity, where like Muslims, like the Quran and the Torah both kind of have a different perspective on what happened with Jesus, and that's where the split happens. And that's the whole entire thing. So like they're not going to look at like Jesus coming back and the resurrection XYZ. Like Muslims don't look at that as like this. Go ahead.
So the whole thing I was saying though, and I haven't went there. The whole thing I've been saying was Muslims look at Jesus as a prophet. So if you consider him a prophet, then wouldn't you want to look at what he prophesied?
Right, but you do also understand that there are like the Quran and what they believe of Jesus does differ inside different spots.
So let me ask you
from like traditional Christianity.
So do they believe he was a false prophet?
No, they don't. I don't see where you're getting that.
You see
part
what he's saying? He's just saying simply, even if you just leave it at the level of him being a prophet.
No, I get that. If you think he's a prophet, but then there's a spot where you have to, like just saying you're a prophet doesn't mean that both texts agree on what he prophesied about. And what I'm saying is that, like in the Quran, what he prophesied about and what he did, there are differences than inside the Bible. So
so that's
like the Quran in general, like the Quran has it has like a different interpretation of certain events. Like it believes in the Old Testament, not the New Testament, and then it breaks down certain things within the Old Testament that they think are falsities within even that. And
so you said it don't believe in none of the New Testament, like Jesus isn't a thing, because from what I've heard from Muslims,
they don't believe Jesus rose in like that.
So
like
how
that's
does
the
it
biggest...
only believe in if you can't believe in Jesus without having the New Testament?
Okay. Wait,
see, that's the thing. It's tough to get into.
Jesus didn't show up to the New Testament.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So what to my understanding, I don't think that like specifically the New Testament, but that's where like we could just like if y'all want to do a deep dive in the Quran,
that seems like we probably might need to
because
do that.
of like I know that to my understanding that they don't believe in the New Testament, but that also doesn't mean that Jesus isn't a part of the Quran, in which like he is a part, and they have stories within the Quran of Jesus. and that's his own.
I wonder what
thing.
I wonder what they actually had that he prophesied in the
And
Quran.
my whole thing is, I watch Farrakhan's speeches, and I watch many of Farrakhan's speeches where he goes right in the Bible and he reads this stuff, the same Bible that I read.
For sure.
So what I'm saying is,
like Rizza Islam will quote you like verses
okay,
from the
so
Bible.
these people all claim to believe that Jesus was a prophet. And like, if you believe that Jesus was a prophet, you can't look at what he says and then say, oh, he's lying, because then you will be saying he's a false prophet.
Right. And I mean, even I think that'd be a fun thing to do. Like, just to say, I really want to see where like the prophecies of Jesus in the Quran and then the prophecies are in the Bible, like where the differences is in what exactly they're saying he said, because they literally to say that he prophesied something and it was wrong, that would denote that he's a false prophet.
Prophesied what and was wrong?
No, just anything. If
But
any of the prophecies,
all right. So my bad. So what things are we talking about? I know that they don't believe that he rose.
Okay,
and so that ends up being like the biggest distinction between the three religions. It's
No,
all in
I
what you
already know
think
that
that Jesus rose or not.
Got you.
So what prophecies are y'all talking about?
I'm just
after
talking
that?
about because you said that there was some differences in like that. You said that
there are differences
that he prophesied.
Yes,
you said there were some differences in the things that he
but
prophesied.
what things are we talking about in general?
It doesn't matter what the specific thing is. If the prophecy is false, then it's false. That means that he's a false prophet. That means that you wouldn't believe that he's a prophet.
What the specific thing I was talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, just said that a little bit.
No, but then you said they're different. The claims from the Bible and the claims for the Quran are different claims.
Which would mean that one of them is wrong.
No, that just means that the Bible is wrong and what they believe of Jesus in the Quran is correct. So their belief of Jesus still would be correct. Like he wouldn't be a false prophet inside that thing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, what do we even talk? Like, what tangibles are we talking about?
Really don't. Okay, I don't want to talk about.
So my bad. So if we're saying that,
I'm not getting into a religious argument. I'm not getting into no religious argument. My whole thing is this is my advice to anybody. I give warning because this is what I truly believe. I'm not trying to start no spiritual arguments.
But what things are you talking about that he prophesied instead of just using that bold word as prophecy?
The stuff that I was saying he prophesied was the same stuff that she was talking about in this video that's happening now.
So help me understand.
Can you let me talk?
Okay.
Dang, bro, you keep cutting me off in the middle of talking. You ask another question every time.
That's great. But also I keep asking it because you keep using the same what I don't know buzzword.
I wouldn't finish talking.
So actually use the thing. So it's always easy to say prophesize and Armageddon and shit like that.
He was literally about to tell you.
Oh no, for sure. So now let's
he know everything. Go ahead, bro.
Let's make.
Go ahead, bro. You know it. You got it all.
You're way louder than
I am.
You're way louder than Mike Check.
I am right now. But again, I want to use the tangibles because I hear it all the time. Jesus coming back. Jesus coming back. I done heard that since the 1950s. I would love for you to tell me right now what the UN is doing that's specifically going to bring Jesus back so I can hold you to it.
I didn't say the UN was doing anything that was going to bring Jesus back. Stop putting words in my mouth.
So what was she talking about? The global citizen shit?
Yeah,
that, UN?
That is in the Bible, bro.
My bad. That's not UN? That's not UN?
The question
answer that. That's
bro,
UN?
You said,
all right, come on. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Okay.
Let's walk down it.
This is what
if you want to have this engaged conversation, let's have it.
This is what I just said.
Come on.
Let's hear it.
She said UN. You brought the shit up and said UN, so tell me how that's not UN.
You got it, Quintel. I'm done. I don't want to talk about it no more, bro. You got it.
Don't backtrack.
I'm not backtracking nothing.
Go ahead. Say
I'm not backtracking nothing.
Give me the prophecy.
You believe what you want to believe.
It ain't about what I believe. I'm asking what you believe. Go ahead.
You don't know. You don't care what I believe.
I'm waiting.
So prove me wrong. That's all I'm saying.
I'm waiting. Go ahead and expel it.
What I said was what I was explaining was in the Bible that was referring back to this that I've been trying to bring back the whole time is this whole global agenda being one world government. That's all in the Bible, bro. That's all what the Bible is talking about. What's going to happen when we become a one world government? What's going to happen to our people? And what's about to happen as a result of how this one world government goes? All of this stuff Jesus prophesied about. Okay. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. So in general, the whole one world nation thing is what you're talking about.
Yes, that's essentially what it's going to. And what happens as a result of that and how the time is about to come.
No, I got you. Does that deal with anything with the UN?
Does it deal with anything with your Bible? Have you read your book?
I don't have a Bible. I don't even know what that is.
Starting this off a religious thing, and I didn't want to make this no religion. I wasn't trying to go here. I don't want to do this.
I just talked about the UN, and I just wanted to make sure that this. Okay, we can tap out.
Yeah, I mean, just to even pose the question that the UN is mentioned in the Bible is crazy.
Who would have ever said that?
That seemed like what you was doing to note. That's what your last question
fellas,
denoted.
we trying to land
That's
this
not
plane.
at all. I said that
You said
what policy that the UN is doing that is prophesied in the Bible. That has nothing to do with the UN being mentioned in the Bible.
And
it sounds like you
government.
It sound like you answered it, and I'm cool with it. Like I'm cool. He said, Johnny, let me talk to this. God damn. We actually had a point of
all the
agreement.
time, bro. This
Yeah,
is
we
literally
had a
how we've
point.
always
We
been.
actually came to a point of agreement because he did the thing that I asked for.
Y'all like
And-
peeking the mics out and everything in this conversation. I know that shit sound like
No, okay, so just audience background. Me and Q have been like this about all the time. Like we just do this. This is how our conversations have.
And it can't.
We done knew each other for like over 20 years, bro.
I was just gonna add something peaceful that might be productive in this conversation. Another prophecy that might be what they talking about, Tone, is there's something called the mark of the beast, and I guarantee you a COVID shot is from the beast.
Well,
I don't think that was the mark of the beast, but I think that was like one of them things that was like
tipping you was a mark of the beast.
I think they do things to test where society is.
But
at
that's the type of stuff that you ain't.
I believe that's what I believe too. It's
I believe
to see what the propaganda and how effective is propaganda,
how
and
compliant
marketing,
is society,
and how can we get, you know what I mean? How many people are going to go? You know what I mean? We can tell them we don't know what this shit gonna do. We don't know if it actually is gonna help against the shit or not. But this is what we saying you should do. Let's see what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? Just check the post. I think, anyways, just to check the post of how much control they actually have over the, you know what I mean, the society at the time.
The believer in me wanted to answer this one last question for Ma, and then I'm done. She said, "Okay, so tell me, how's the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost one person?" I want to. Yeah, she asks it all the time. This is what I do, but that's why I want to give her an answer. So the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit can be one person the same way that you can have a body, a spirit, and a mind, and they can all operate. I don't want to say independently of each other, but yeah, to a degree they can. And I'll leave that there. I don't do stuff. My motto from now on is, you're gonna have to prove to me what I'm saying is wrong. I'm not convincing nobody on nothing. I want you to go look it up yourself and prove me wrong. We ain't gotta argue. Prove that what I'm saying is wrong to yourself. I don't want to argue with nobody because I actually do research on what I'm saying. I don't just be saying stuff and trying to convey hours and hours and hours of research that you done did, or years and years of research into certain simple statements. Yeah, that's confusing.
Hey fellas, before we move on, y'all want to woosah and hug it out?
Hug it out. You know, I actually like don't the direct question,
bro. As heated as we get, once again, let's clarify. As heated as this Joker get, that's my brother, bro. I love him.
Hey, bro, I think and the thing is, everybody can kind of tell that, like, the fact that we can disagree so aggressively and and still do the show every fucking week and love each other. I mean, it's obvious that the connection goes beyond when the show started. So you know, you shouldn't even have to really tell them that. This is clear. It's clear. It should be anyway. If you tapped in, it's definitely clear.
Yeah,
go ahead, Johnny.
My brother might be a little misguided, but no.
All right, brother. Knowledge.
I've been playing.
So we finally got the landing gear down. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one down safely. I ain't gonna say transition, but we'll move on.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny been transitioning.
Get y'all ass about it.
Nope.
Get y'all ass about it. Damn it.
Oh,
don't worry about it. I got me one back in. Now I feel good. It's been a minute. Q, you got to get you something. Now I can talk shit.
Yeah,
I got me one now.
I've been in a hell of a losing.
Hell yeah. Okay, so let me think. Let me see.
Well, I'm losing. You think it's intentional?
Man, throwing games. Trust the process.
I'm trying to get the first pick, guys.
How I want to go.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go.
Man, take it for two.
Q. I'm gonna make Q go first.
You gonna let me go second?
No, I'm gonna go second. I'm gonna make your ass go last.
I got the best question anyway.
Last, nigga. Cause I said so.
You gonna make me go last?
Make you submit.
You're not gonna
your authority.
You're not gonna allow me to go last.
No, I'm gonna make you go last.
Q.
Okay, cool. So the question is, are we really doing as bad as we think? This is framed specifically within the guise of the Black community, and I guess inside like me over the course of multiple weeks, and especially doing unpack, I've continually kind of like gotten some interesting stats and figures that I thought have shaped a bit of perspective that I've had when it comes down to current day where we're at and where we're at. I guess I'll put that there. I guess this is even more interesting coming off the previous conversation of prophecies coming true, and like right now it's like a really bad time. So I guess even within that, guys. So to me right now, if we're just looking up, and if y'all want to look along, I think what's the Kevin Samuels thing? Black economic? No, it's Black statistics. If you just type in Black stats, you can go to the spot and it'll reference to the CDC stats, but it breaks a lot of these things down for Black people. But crime and murder, specifically murder, is lower right now.
And what does it give? Like actually, like a comparison.
I can send them into Tone in a second.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking.
No. These are just bullets.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, these are just notes. Middle class within the Black community has increased. This is going from 1950s to right now, and it has drastically increased. There's a lower space of lower income XYZ. There are more educated people. There's literally from graduating high school to like graduate degrees XYZ. There's less unemployed, and there is less people doing drugs. So right now, I think that we get inside a lot of conversations that specifically talk about how bad we're doing. And I posed the question, I guess I'll just throw this part into the air, and I'll ask, by what metric are we judging us doing worse and bad right now? And if so, how are we doing said worse and bad? And maybe you disagree with the statement in general.
The statement that we're doing bad.
That we're currently doing bad right now, which would constitute that we're doing worse than we have,
or it could
as Black people.
Well, I mean, I think we're still doing bad comparatively to the rest. Like if you look at like income gaps and stuff like that.
But could one say that even inside that metric, it's gotten better?
Yes, it's still gotten better from like our previous generation. So we're probably doing the best we've ever done, but you compare it to the other side, it's still I can understand why somebody would still say bad. I think, and I'd have to look, but I think the income gap is widened.
Income gap between Blacks and
whites
has widened from like when?
I mean, yeah, that wouldn't really make sense to it would seem as though it would make depending.
I'd have to look it up, but
I can find it.
Well, go ahead. I have
I know right now the Black median household income for Black people. I don't know. This is kind of hard for it to make sense, and maybe this is like 2022, but I still don't think it makes sense. If I am just going off the top of my head, I think it was like 50 something, and then white was like 80 something. It might have increased since now.
I seen something else. Oh no, that was the mean. But another thing too is the what is it, the nuclear family, where that shit is almost dissipated. That we're definitely doing worse in that area, and then which will even go into my question is this whole gender war thing.
And I guess I will ask you, in comparison to what time frame are we talking about? Are we talking about like 80 years ago, 90 years ago? Are we talking about like?
Oh no. I would say
this is based off the Federal Reserve. They said that the median wealth
is different.
Okay,
you said the word income.
Wealth. Okay, yeah,
median wealth. Like there is.
The wealth gap.
The wealth gap.
The wealth gap
is getting bigger. That's what
between Blacks and whites.
Yeah, it's
in comparison to when though.
Between 2019 and 2022, the racial wealth.
Oh,
all right. You talking about like inside a smaller frame? I can believe that.
Yeah. I'm not talking.
Yeah, about say if you zoom that out.
When you talk about COVID, that COVID widened the shit out of the gap.
Yeah.
They got them went up for real.
Well, if you own property, whoever amassed the most amount of property was going to win the.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you could say it's better than we've ever been, but it's still bad comparably.
And this is I'm sorry, this is a sidebar. We ain't gotta go. I don't want to go deep into it because we on your question, but you see the what is it? Fuck the gains. What is it? Unrealized gains. Unrealized gains. You seen that?
Gains. Yeah.
That, do you know that they talking about?
Is that Trump or is that Kamala?
That's Kamala.
Yeah,
you know
Kamala,
that shit they talking about being able to tax equity.
Well, that's unrealized
gain. Yeah, it's an unrealized gain.
But I heard they're talking about like you have to have over like $100 million. Like,
see, and that's what I was hoping that it was like
super top 0.1%.
Okay, so I need to make sure we get to that.
And this is why I love these conversations.
That's not for like us.
I wanted to make sure because
I had a funny remind me to show y'all a cartoon.
But yeah, I had a meme about that. But he said it's for literally over 100.
And that's why I'm going to look that up specifically because excuse me, I was just doing some listening. And heard that on the way over here, but
I'd seen it. I forgot. Yeah, I'll be making a list for my choice right now. I think that that'll send me down a tangent. So I ain't
tried. My bad. I just want to just get that off real quick. But to go back to what you're saying, I would say our grandparents. Well, hold on, grandparents. I would say our grandparents' generation were close, had more of the nuclear family was more of a norm then than it is now. I think that's definitely one.
Our grandparents' generation would be what? When?
Our grandparents' generation, they would be. Hold on.
You're talking about the 1960s?
Yeah, something like that.
But then what you also see within that is that same generation did end up being a big user of like the crack epidemic.
Well, I mean, we already.
And then those families ended up breaking up, and like there is like when you zoom out and see Black America.
My thing is that it's harder to like, had they been left alone and niggas wasn't trying to fund wars in Nicaragua and all this shit and funneling this shit into the hood, then it wouldn't have been what it was. So of course, if you're intentionally if you're intentionally causing the destruction of the community, then the result of that will be destruction, which, you know what I mean? It'll break everything apart. But I say that what's another one? And I think that even when we were growing up, hell, even in our parents' generation, when we lived in the hood, but my mom knew all of the neighbors. You know what I mean? We knew everybody's mom in the neighborhood. Everybody's mom, like, at least had a cordial relationship. Like, I guarantee, like, it's niggas. I don't know my neighbors. My neighbors are I know my Black neighbors next to me, but the ones on the other side, they Hispanic. I don't know them. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you know your neighbor, but we don't even have that anymore. Like the community idea of a community is almost gone. Like I said a couple episodes ago, the community is you're in your house at this point.
But I would also challenge the idea that
you don't think we're drifting further away from like an actual community than it was previously.
I think like. To answer your question directly, sure. It's definitely not what it used to be. I do think that community is like way more integrated and different looking in general as well. So like if I'm looking like right here, if like you're middle class Blacks, you're living with like Indians and Hispanics and Blacks at the same time. In which I also think that in general, all of us are in the house a lot more. When you talk about kids, adults, whoever else, like we're all in the house.
I understand. You can give a reasoning for why it is how it is, but the question was just, do you think that is what areas?
I answered that. Better? I answered that part first. Oh, are you going to something else?
No. I was talking about. You asked the question is, you said, are we doing better or are we doing worse than we were?
Oh yeah. So you're saying that
giving like examples of how
community
would
be
I understand there's reasonings for the thing being the thing, but we're just trying to say, you know, these are some things that I could say that I think are worse than what they were previously, or getting worse.
And I guess I
was going from the relationship between men and women, which is which is talking about nuclear family. So the relationship between men and women is worse than I think it's ever been. I'd also say, let me see how I want to. So my second one was what? I had the relationships. Then my second one. Oh yeah,
I tell you to look up the crack. Like the 80s and 90s was a horrible time.
I don't really be trying to. That right there was like a time period. Say what?
Serving.
See, that was a time period. I feel like we got to kind of like just leave in its own space.
But I don't think that. So it's like 30 years that we have to like erase from our memories of anything.
Not necessarily erase, but I just feel like that was contingent upon an intentional destruction of the community. So like, yeah, I mean, it's like, I think that's like one of those things where we can't just keep harping on that time period because, of course, it was shitty. It was intentionally made shitty.
Well, gentrification, another way they're showing these, like if you go in like South End, like I don't want to South Side homes or
I ain't a fan. I ain't against gentrification.
I'm not
I just don't think that black
either.
people participate enough.
But that's the thing. I think we just gotta also capitalize.
But that's just showing those communities, people that been living in those spots.
Just be mad, dilapidated, and
shit
like
be fucked up,
yeah, I
bro.
don't
You
know
be
what you're
wanting that shit to get out. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it. If they,
Hey,
if
my
they're
bad,
moving-
y'all. They say fuck y'all shit.
Nah, what I'm saying is
no. Well, yeah, fuck them dilapidated housing, and
Exactly.
then like if you're gonna like get Section 8 money, at least be somewhere that is
Exactly.
inhabitable. That's not like roach infested and all these different
Big
shits.
fat rats and
Like
shit.
yeah, have
I
you been
had
inside
one.
like
I grew up and had,
one of
like,
those
rats.
apartments?
Long time ago.
Yeah, like it's nothing to be like, oh, I can't believe they taking our property. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck you talking about?
No, fact. We lived. I can't remember exactly which one because we lived in a lot of the hoods around the city. And one of them we called it the Rat Motel. Like literally, that was a thing. You know what I mean? We was fucked up. We was fucked up, and like I remember it was so many rats that like snakes start coming. It was a snake that got on the bed with my sister one time when she was still in the I'm still. This is stories that I'm regurgitating from tales, and like literally snake on the bed with my sister and my I think my brother came in there and got it out of there. You know what I mean? It was bad, bro. Those neighborhoods were fucked up, bro. Yeah, you don't know.
How does snake get inside the house?
Motherfucker could get in the house. You
They
know what I mean?
figure it out.
If the rats can get in, the snakes can get in.
Do you have ventilation?
Yeah.
If the rats can get in, the snakes can get in.
I'm
For
saying I'm
damn
from
sure.
the country. I've seen snakes outside my house a lot. Never seen them on the inside.
Oh, that's what's up. I ain't got the answer for you then. But I guess like if I do want to kind of like focus it back to the actual question. So it sounded like you said community is not the same as what it once has been. But I guess I'll ask the question, like, how much does that weigh on us doing worse as a group if like all the other measurables are going up?
Well, I think the suicide rate's going up.
Is that from just the start of the pandemic?
No, I had to go back and look at it. I don't know
before?
exactly when it just started, but there was
about black men suicide rate.
I'm talking about just suicide rates in general. Well, you can use black men. I'm pretty sure that's going up as well.
Yeah, and when I'm
pretty
speaking,
sure
talk about black people right now.
Yeah,
Black
yeah. I'm
people.
pretty sure that you looked that up for me too. I'm pretty sure that's definitely going up. I think a lot of the time we over
go ahead.
We over because the money thing, like making more money, because we relate money to happiness. I think that we overinflate the I want to say the
worth of it. But what about when you pair like
value?
The value is a better word.
But what if you pair that with like lower murder rates, lower drug usage, and then and that's what I'm saying. Like when not if you like isolate one, but if you like pair these things together.
And see, this is one thing I will concede to is that like after having the conversations over and over, even outside of here, I will say that we are seemingly a better society. Like it is getting better. It doesn't feel like it, especially since this time period of the internet. Once the internet and social media start to broaden itself and become the World Wide Web as it is now, the fact that you can see crime all over the place makes you feel as though crime is up like a motherfucker.
Well, and not only just seeing it, but the news and the politicians, the fear mongering and the propaganda that goes like think about like you driving in the car and you hear the political ads and like how
I'm so sick of that shit.
Woe is me, it's the end of the world, and they make it seem like if you vote for this other candidate, it's over.
Yes,
and so I think that plays a part into us feeling like it's so much better because like when you turn on the
but that's just more recent though. You know what I mean? So we just in a season.
This only shows 20 years, but the bottom line would be black people. It's not like that volatile.
I kind of got an answer for this question.
That's CDC. Go ahead.
I wouldn't say things have necessarily gotten worse for us. What I would say in like speaking about black people, I do think we lost something that I didn't know we had until I started seeing it. I be studying the 80s, looking at I like 80s videos and I like seeing the commercials and different things. But one of the things that you start to see when you like watching like especially like live shows. Like if you watch like Apollo from the 80s or Video Soul from the 80s, these shows that was about our culture. One of the things I didn't know about positive BET. There was a positive version of BET that was really, really good at a certain point in time where it was doing everything that Black people be saying they want BET to represent now. They was doing that at a certain point in time. Like even the whole there was just so many different things in culture as far as like how different people and different ideas being represented. I think there was a lot more individuality. And I think we lost some of that from that was like present in the 80s and the 90s.
You know, something that I'll say about that though is that like if you notice back in the day, there was like you dress black. There was like you can say like individuality is becoming. I think
you talking about hood.
Nah, there was a.
I'm talking about like there was a dress that was.
I don't think that's as much of a thing.
And that's what I was about. That was for me.
But you seen any of my family members?
Like they're literally.
Roger the only one that dressed black for real. Everybody.
Like, Roger does dress black.
Roger definitely.
Roger classic black.
Hey, but you gotta think. Hey, but you gotta think about that generation too, or that age bracket. A lot of those guys still.
Yeah, they all still dress. They dress classic black.
Yeah, they definitely do. Yeah, now we got
20. What is like a 04 capsule.
Now we got the uppity Negroes wearing the thick bottom New Balances and all.
Yeah, big bottom New Balance. I ain't go hate on the uppity shoes though, bro. It's a few of them I like.
Oh yeah, no,
it's a
few of them I like. Get that off.
Tone like a nice little flat.
Oh yeah, he had some. He got some thick soles.
Tone like a nice little flat. Like I be seeing Tone.
Oh yeah,
he got a pair of thick soles. I ain't mad at you, bro.
I got a few of them now. It's adding up.
I'm gonna set all the way out
until you try it, then you see how
I'm not
it
gonna
is.
try it. See, the thing about me is I'm not one of the guys that like is moved by the trend. Like I'm not really moved by the trend. So like if I don't like it upon seeing it, it's not like I'm gonna keep on like allowing it's gonna convince me one point in time to be like, oh no, now they look cool. No, they just don't. I'm cool. Like I'm not the nigga that allows the radio to make the hit a hit.
It ain't about looking
If
cool.
I don't like it when it first come on,
it's about comfort, bro. At a certain point,
You gotta put your foot in it first.
Listen, but I'm not gonna put my foot in it. That's the thing. Because they're ugly to me, I don't want to wear them. I don't want to wear them. I think they're ugly. When you look at the motherfuckers, they don't look new when you buy them.
You ever been with a big chick with the lights off?
Yeah, I'm married, bro. We can't talk about these things. Premarital things, bro. We can't talk about those.
But
back in the day,
I agree.
Used to hit a big Joan for gas money back in the day.
But I guess
turn the lights off.
What I would say is
always lights was off.
Yeah, niggas.
Shit, never mind. I used to always try. Never mind. Fuck that. I ain't gonna go too deep.
So what I will agree with is that I think that if you're doing something specifically, if you don't like it, then I think that's corny. But if you see something new, it's okay to also like something,
like things,
and evolve.
Absolutely.
And that's evolution in comparison. Sometimes it seems like you just don't like anything new.
No. If I like it, it is. If it's new and it looks good to me, it looks good. But if I'm not going because
what's something
if I don't like it, huh? Say it again.
What's something new that you don't like?
Something new that I don't like.
You know you can list that.
Oh, I like the new Mustang.
No, like
I didn't like the body style before that.
Let's stay with like anything clothing.
What's changed drastically other than the shoes? Everything else.
Big tees,
little tees. You done had skinny jeans.
I think that
you done had straight leg jeans.
I wear my jeans have gotten slimmer over the years.
You got the halter top joint.
I'm just asking, like,
I ain't gonna front.
Like,
out of the past, like 3 areas of dress, I think we definitely in the best time right now. If we was looking at like the past, because you have like this time period present. Then you have like that preppy, Sperry time period and all of that stuff.
That was a fire time.
The boat shoes, the boat shoe era.
I ain't say like that. That was polo. Like polo to the flow. Like
I like this time period better because it's just like it's just straight on. Like you got the straight leg jeans. It ain't too tight or too loose. Like before that we had like before the Sperry time we had the baggy era.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't miss that.
I fuck with like. I think that like the 35 to 45-year-old have their own little genre.
Yeah,
and I think that's fire. I enjoyed the 35 to 45-year-old genre.
The athleisure.
The athleisure.
Not a drip part. I think everybody dresses like conservative white men now.
Why are you looking to be so comfortable when you leave the house?
Why not?
Because, bro,
Why do you want to
like,
be uncomfortable when
I
you
ain't
leave the
say
house?
uncomfortable. See, y'all gotta go from extreme. You going extreme. Now you going extreme. It's the one extreme.
You told me last week you like to argue extreme.
Sometimes.
Go ahead. He on it sometimes.
And all I'm doing is they letting them know
Hey,
that's
hey,
the
Red, how
extreme.
much starch you used to put in your jeans back in the day?
I ain't been no starch guy, bro. No starch guy, bro.
And this has been Royals fashion tips for the week.
Yes, I wear them ugly ass shoes.
But if we go back to the initial question, are we really doing as bad today? Thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think we're doing bad. Like that's
as
what
bad as we think, and I guess
as bad as we think. I think we're definitely in a different time. I do think there are some things that we need to address, but I think there's always things that we need to address within the Black community.
For sure.
I think if anything, we're like not trying to address the things. Maybe one of the things that is like a negative for us, like trying to ignore it or justify the things that we need, like, because that's a lot of what we're doing now. I think we try to justify a lot of the wrongdoings that we're doing,
norms,
or we try to hide it. I don't know, but there are some things that need to be addressed, but I don't think we're doing bad. I think that, like I said, the only thing I think is that we lost some of our culture, and I like looking back and seeing that, and even being reminded of some stuff I grew up off of. I do miss having like that individual, like, nah, this a Black thing, Like if you get what I'm saying, there used to be that kind of thing, and even we still see remnants of it, but it's like other cultures just are old Black culture.
But there's so minimal things that are like of any specific group. If we just go like, even if we go like fashion right now, there's not a specific like territorial like New York look.
Yeah, it's not
Southern look, a Cali.
That
look,
is true.
Anything like that. Like in general,
but there's
like
still
fashion, like. Yeah, just in general, it's.
But there's still like stuff like if you look at like Hispanics, for instance, there's still things that Dominicans do that Puerto Ricans might not, or that Mexicans do that Puerto Rican. Like there are different things that are just like
they all want to. They all try and dress like Black folk.
I think a lot of people are. I think, like I said, I think a lot of the other cultures are just. I think a lot of the other cultures
are Dominican. They don't wear them New Balances though.
I think a lot of other cultures are just old Black culture. They just took a version of old Black culture from different time periods, depending on where you at. They take Black culture from different time periods and make it their current culture, and then they be trying to make stuff like it's new. Like,
but one thing I will say to answer your question too is that like if you let Charleston White tell it, that's the comparison. Like when you listen to Charleston White talk about where we are currently, it sounds like the fucking worst thing of, you know what I mean, period. But then, like, if you sit and like, you know, read the statistics, which I hadn't done until you pointed it out that specific episode couple episodes ago, you can clearly see that things are much better than your phone will allow you, and your algorithm will allow you to believe. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that we all need to do too. I think we all need to kind of make sure to pay attention to what's actually going on, because we'll over critique. We may over critique.
I will say,
and I would say that I'm probably guilty of that as well, like over critiquing the community because I'm going off of what the algorithm is allowing me. You know what I mean? It's continuously feeding me, and even like a lot of the things, like even though I don't watch Power and all that stuff, I still look at like the everything that's going on in Chicago and listen to the interviews and listen to these guys tell what's going on in their lives and, you know what I mean, their upbringing. So it's a lot more negativity out there for you to easily find than there is positivity. So you're going to naturally feel as though we're doing so much worse than we actually are.
And even in this conversation, I'm starting to realize I don't think it's so much that we're doing bad. It's just there's not as much of community, it seems like. Like I actually miss the village.
I think we get caught up in propaganda.
No, we absolutely do.
Yeah,
we
can
community some more love though.
Community wise, like you can't necessarily say, like, there used to be a thing where like kids couldn't do certain things because if they wouldn't do it in front of adults because there was just a thing. Like there isn't that same like I would say like respect for adults, for elders. Like I think we had that. Like there were certain times we might be in a group cussing and be sitting there instead of having a regular conversation, but an adult come around, whether they are a parent or not. Okay, like they around, we ain't gonna say that in front of them. Like this, we'll say this conversation for later on. This ain't gonna be in front of them. I think there's kind of become a lack of that, and that's due to the parents also, because like us, we be trying, like our generation is still trying to be young. We trying to hold on to our youth, albeit that like what's part of the reason we trying to hold on to our youth is because like we having to grow up a lot slower. Like you're not necessarily in as good of a place like it's soon, but yeah.
I was talking about that.
I was gonna say, I think like one way to judge it is based on like I think the kids, like, I think our generation we come from that previous generation. And I think when I see my friends and parents and people of our age, we've done a good job of waiting to, have kids and do this and do the things that actually make the community better, actually make, stronger nuclear families, stronger parents, stronger bonds. And I think stuff like that actually is showing that, it's not that bad. We can get caught up. You can fall for the propaganda. You can get fear mongered into believing that, it's the end of the world. But in our reality, we would probably want to be born here than 60 years ago.
Yeah. And I guess what I'd say to the notion of like the community, and this is where I think that it ends up being, I think that can be true, but that's where I also go into the idea that I think community has just changed so much over the time, in which I think if you're looking at the stat of how Blacks have become more into the middle class, I think that also means going into assimilated living conditions, in which I think a positive byproduct of the hood was that there was a tighter knit community and everybody understood each other. A byproduct of moving into further out spaces and things like that, it is that you get into integrated spaces and neighborhoods and different things like that.
Much more diversified. It seems
much more.
How the more diversity you see, the less apt we are to really, because the language barrier is a thing. Then then the idea of what each people, what we believe the other race to be, just based on what we've, we've been fed. It's like the idea of the stereotype of Black people or the stereotype of Hispanics or the Africans. You know what I mean? I think that the fact that we have the stereotypes and we don't really know anything about us when we get close to each other, we just fucking don't even try to prove this shit wrong.
Nah, the crazy part about it is like I found the opposite of it.
Yeah, I think that where you were, good job, Johnny.
Yeah.
Where you were where you was placing it was a different thing, in which, like, I guess. Yeah, I think that I understand what you're saying. I think there's a nuance to it that I'll let Tone go unless you want me to unpack the full nuance.
Oh, no, go ahead. Because I was trying to fix Johnny's mic right there.
Okay, gotcha. So what I was saying is that, like, generally speaking, I think that we're integrating more into like middle classism a little bit. And I think that, like, the dealing with the non-English speaking Hispanics still kind of like reverberates a little bit inside, like, quote unquote, like it goes hand in hand with hood culture. Like I remember being inside Double Oaks, and we play ball. We'll play ball with
Indians. Use the Indian instead of Hispanics. Just use the Indian. You can. There's immigrant that's in each level as you go. The middle class, you can use the Indian immigrant because that's typically where
like
you're
the first generation ones. But they speak English, don't they?
No, I'm not saying that it's not even just that they don't speak.
Are you talking about
the fact that they
cultural,
don't talk to you? It's
like cultural differences.
Yeah, you're just not going to speak to them. Like you'll literally walk past them all the time and never speak to them.
Yeah, I guess that maybe they're probably middle class, I imagine.
Yeah, if you were in the middle class neighborhood, they would be middle class.
Yeah,
I rock with the Indian community. Like, one thing that they do have is actual community. Everywhere that I lived that had the Indians in it, they, like, every single day, like, everybody went walking together. There'd be big groups of them over, like, doing whatever, like, their little things that they be doing inside their own different little groups. And it wasn't like, at first I thought I was like, oh damn, they got a strong little group over here. But then I moved to another spot and they all kind of do the same thing. I thought that was actually cool.
And that's what's missing for us, I feel like, at this point. Like I think at some point we kind of had that, but the more we get included into the society, and that's even looking at immigrants, they're not included in American society as much, so they have to have their own things. So I think maybe that's what happened. The more we got included in American society, the more our culture became American culture and not just Black
and I think
culture.
I think that's like the byproduct of general assimilation into the dominant society, which naturally happens. I don't know a group that doesn't do it after like a second or third generation, even a second generation of making or being at like middle class esque. Yeah, like the Asians, like the first group of Asians that you're saying, that Like they kept a lot of cultural roots, XYZ.
Mhm.
That next generation, them motherfuckers wanted to be American as hell. They really wanted to be black a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then they went, you know what I mean, still make sure they got them good grades, and then they went to UNC. But yeah.
You know something I thought about, bro? Just imagine if the crack era didn't happen. Imagine, because that stunted black people, like the black community growth. If you look pre-crack era, and then you know what I mean.
I heard there was on heroin in there.
Yeah, but heroin wasn't as big as crack became. Heroin was a drug that was being used, but at the same time, it was nowhere near what crack was.
I understand what you're saying. I guess like I think the quote unquote peak probably would be pushing towards like the night, like if we're talking about like the families and all these different things, would be pushing closer to like the 1950s and shit like that. I think once the not like the 70s hit, I think in general, American culture and society, this isn't like specifically just pointing out black people. Like there was a push of the drug, sex, and like debauchery that can even be seen inside like the hippie movements of like the white cultures and shit like that.
Woodstock.
I think that generally speaking, that was like a thing that was going to be a thing in general. I don't know. Like I would have had to have seen like black people peaking during like the 70s and early 80s for me to say that. And they weren't peaking inside that.
No,
time.
I'm just saying, not necessarily needing to peak.
No,
that the growth would have been different because you wouldn't have had that destructive time period. Even though there was some, you know what I mean, some of the things that we enjoy now as a community were birthed from, you know what I mean, anything when you talk about the entertainment world, like literally a lot of that shit was funded by crack. You know what I mean? A lot of that was funded by Dope Boys, and Dope Boys was like literally a lot of the black businesses and all. Yeah, I'm talking about back. There was a lot of, but I'm saying even still, a lot of a lot of money was made for people who are now able to own businesses and things, who have had generational businesses since then. Not generational business.
Yeah, because black unemployment was still crazy there.
Right.
Like the reason why it was able to be effective was because of there was a lack of resources in general already inside the black community.
Right.
All right. Anything else?
Nah, I'm
good.
Oh,
so like everybody agreed on like
we're
a
doing
landing
better.
spot.
Yeah. No, it's just I know it's funny because I can see like I understand why you would have had that question, because at the end of the day it would have seemed that like even I believed that, you know what I mean, I was preaching that, so I almost kind of did like a whole 180 of where I stood. But at the end of the day, I think if you have conversations like this and you still, if you have real conversations and you still stand where you did before the conversation sparked, you probably just let yourself go, bro. No, hold on. Let me take that back. No, don't let yourself go. But you need to be trying to
tell the people to jump.
trying to find a different, like
talking about black suicide.
Yeah, that's why I just had to fix that.
We've been using that word this whole episode too. My bad. Black deletion rates. But
yeah, that my bad. But I'm just saying, like, and that goes into my question to for the day.
Great ideas.
Yeah, you probably just don't. What I was gonna say is my question for the day is like, do you think that the dating space, or this, let's say, gender war as they like to call it now, do you think that we've gotten to the bottom and like we're looking, you know what I mean, we're looking on the other side, like it'll be better, or do you think we still have more downward spiraling to do to hit the floor before we actually start to ascend and start coming together? Where do you think that we are in that cycle of this?
I think we're coming back together.
War?
I think that's one of those things, kind of like what we were just talking about. I think it sounds bad on the internet, but when you really get out here, people figuring it out. It's like sometimes I might be better at washing the dishes or doing something in the kitchen, you know, and so I got this, babe. I mean, it's just about getting it done. It ain't about necessarily having like a gender role. When once you look at it like that, I think a lot of people look at it like that. It makes it not a war. Like, why are we having a gender war with like the opposite sex? It's like we're working together. It's like we're teammates. So I think it's getting better. But I think it's just like the internet takes the small extremes and over amplifies those voices. Yeah. But from what I see out here, I don't see, like, I ain't never had like my friend come up to me and be like, man, she just won't, like, people figuring that out.
I'm thinking
now you might, but I ain't.
I was gonna say, I think most of the people who on the internet anyway, a lot of the times, don't be in relationships. Like people who are actually talking, they don't even be in relationships half the time. They just be sitting there talking about stuff they don't actually know about. And I think like for real, a lot of people, like, if you can find what you want out here to a degree. You don't have to sit there and go preaching about it and all that stuff. Like, speak what you want, and you can find it out here. Somebody's gonna fit the bill, and you just need to be aware of who actually fit that bill. And I think people are coming to that conclusion, like, where it's like, yeah, you don't got to be with everybody, because I don't agree with everybody's ideas, but I think people are realizing, like, there are plenty of people with different ideas, and you can find somebody with ideas similar enough to yours where y'all can make it work. And I think that's what people are doing.
Yeah,
and we got a whole group of.
But yeah, no, I guess I agree with Tony and said, and I guess if I'm answering your question directly, it's almost like an admission of, like, I don't know if I'm qualified to answer that. Like, if we're talking about dating today, I feel like Johnny probably can answer that. He out in these streets. But like, I've been in a relationship for like they're almost going on 4 years, like three and a half years, some shit like that. So I can't say what dating is specifically. And if it's gotten better or not, my anecdotal evidence would be like I know 3 people that got married in the past year. So it would seem as though like it's getting better. But like, I'm not on the ground level, like having these conversations, going on dates, seeing if women is actually anything. Only thing I can go off of is my specific algorithm. And like, you know, like that can be a crapshoot. Sometimes they can seem fire. Sometimes it seems like it's crazy. But I do like the point that that Tone made, where I do think that right now there's becoming more clarity in the idea that people can understand that you don't have to fit inside a specific box of a thing, but the reality is that there is a person that whichever box that you're in can pretty much find it. And then the thing is that there's someone, like the internet has made the world flat enough to where like you can find the person that actually hits the things that you want as well. If you just take the time and you know what you want good enough.
Mm-hmm. And you know what I was coming, I feel the same way as how we ended how I ended my response to the last question. I feel like I actually love the fact that the conversations are being had so loudly. I think that like if you before the conversations became so loud, if you still stand where you did prior to the conversations, I think you're doing that. That's to the detriment of where you. I think that you're fucking up. If you still believe everything that you believed prior to the actual conversations happening, I think that you're probably fucking up, because there was a lot of fruit in the turmoil. Everything that we seemingly thought was like this is it's the gender war, which I don't really like to call it that, because I don't believe that it's a war. I believe that we're just trying to get to know each other better, and it's just loud.
Nah, niggas was at war. Them red pill men.
Yeah, they hated women. It depends on what you're listening to as well. No, I'm saying it depends on what you're listening to. But I'm talking about like if you just looking at Fresh and Fit, bro, then you know what I mean. Hey, you trying to?
Well, my bad. I guess like you can go like Donovan Show. I think like 9. I ain't gonna put it 9. I said like 8, maybe 7 out of 10 of like the biggest red pill creators. They all got found out to be frauds.
Yeah, cause the thing is, bro, if you're using the internet just to validate everything that you believe, then you're losing.
But to me, like that was the part that was making. But that was the part that was sparking the war. Is the fact that like people that aren't living by the things that they say are saying these things loud to people that believe that these people are living there. And that's what you've seen with a lot of like that's kind of been like the downfall of the red pill space. Is that none of those guys actually lived out what they was talking about?
Derek Jackson.
Yeah, Derek Jackson. Like, and that goes like the other side of it too. Like if you like OD simping, like Derek Jackson was. He was a manosphere. He was like black woman is queen, mother of the earth. I do everything for you. And smacking on the other side, like you know what I mean. Both sides of the coin. Yeah,
but I think this is important too, though. Like I mean, if we're talking just dating, like first, second, third date, the fuck we talking about? Gender roles and stuff. Anyway, I'm trying to like get to know you as a person. I think that's for a little later on in the relationship. You start moving in, and then you.
I disagree with that.
I disagree too. Those are the fun conversations.
Johnny, this is where you be fucking up with.
That's exactly
you
what
need to know
he
the gender
fucking up,
role
Johnny.
before, like you need to know what you think of gender roles before you get in a serious relationship.
My thing, even beyond a serious relationship, that's entertaining. Like you gotta think about like having the dope conversation is entertainment for both sides. If you think about when we was younger, even when we was younger, like that was the type of shit we would start horoscopes and what that meant to like analyze it.
Like, what's your thoughts on bills? What's your thoughts on gender roles? What's your thoughts on domestic violence?
That's gonna be a different. What I'm saying is it's gonna look different.
Like, I'm not trying to do that. Like
you say what?
That's different than having like, well, what do you think? What do you bring to the table? What do you
that's just. But what I'm saying is that the conversation looks different at 16 as it does at 35. Of course, astrology was the baseline where you thought you was having deep conversation when you were 16. You know what I mean? But like as a grown man, like there is a level of deep conversation that like is appreciated on both sides that you should be having. That's what the entertaining aspect of how else are you entertaining her?
And I guess so. This is where I land. I understand a piece of what you're. I understand a piece of what you're saying.
I'm not
and again,
talking about like when I'm first meeting somebody. I just want to like get to know them and like what do you do?
How the fuck are you getting to know them if you ain't having real conversation?
You're way more than just your gender role.
And that's what I say. I also think that there's an important part to understand that. So in a lot of like first date, and this is where I think that there's a middle ground between this. I do think like second, third date, there's an introduction to like some of these more serious conversations. But in the first date, especially post Kevin Samuels, I can see where if you somebody out in the field, that could easily be like a thing that's not to necessarily get.
You don't want to go in that.
In which like I'm thinking right like the last first date that I went on, like that wasn't a specific point of conversation. I think that we we stumbled on it like date 2 or 3 or something like that.
That's cold. The last first date that I've had.
Huh?
That's cold. Like to think of the last first date that you've ever like when you get married, like that's your last first date.
Oh yeah. Because I guess like one thing that definitely will make a first date go bad if you just run down like the gender war points, the quote unquote gender war points.
Like this,
as much as like there is a space where like the first dates you're filling each other out in the idea of like damn, what do you do? What do you like to do?
Are you funny?
Like and so much banter comes from like these different responses to where it ends up being such a fluid conversation to where forcing in like or trying to navigate towards like gender role XYZ, like are you the most that you would get into inside that, at least during the time, and this is like 2021, 2022. So
it wasn't even that.
Like the algorithm might have updated, would be like, are you serious about dating or not? And then like, you know, like you can talk a little bit like that, depending on where it lands, you might dig a little bit into the relationship, like previous relationship or not, but you wouldn't specifically get into like, how do you want to break down bills? How do you want to break down gender roles?
Johnny,
what is your thoughts on domestic violence?
And then he keep doing that shit. He keep extreming the shit. No, I didn't say that you need to be talking about 50-50s. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying that the conversation from when you were younger, it still should be when we were quote unquote having serious conversations and in love at 16. Like there is a.
You keep ignoring me too.
there is a 35-year-old. There's a 35-year-old way that to have the same thing happening. It's like to me, I like that shit would seem super boring. Like to talk about like he's saying, of course, like you mean
you know it's exciting
what you do
on the first date.
What's that?
Politics.
Oh, that definitely.
That would be
fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind, bro.
That's a good one.
I wouldn't say that like
that makes sense.
That's something that I've
exactly what
hinted
I'm talking
around
about.
in a little bit in the first date. Like there, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's so many other outlier things that makes the person before you get into like the like
what role they're going
what
to play
role
in
would each person play inside
because you might not play no role in each other's lives.
Right. But like seeing if a person is interesting in general, to me, like that's usually what I'm trying to find out. Like, damn, are you quirky? Are you humorous? Are you like are you a straightforward, serious, logical person? Like, do you read? Like, it'd be a bunch of different little things. And even when you get to like, do you read? What do you watch? XYZ. It spurs so many conversations that allows you to go. But I know I rarely kind of get. Well, I don't think that I ever really got into any of those gender role conversations or. Yeah, those things.
I was on a date when that Trump shit happened when he got shot. That was very funny.
Was she white or black?
It was a black girl.
And
what she say?
Shout out to the team.
Did you tell her how proud you was of Trump?
About
now you navigated that one differently.
say he looked like a strong leader. What was it?
She voted for Kamala.
Yeah. But you could throw it out and you could be like, okay, all right, you lean here.
I'm like,
and
oh,
then-
okay. Let me.
Hey, that's one of them things that
So
you might lose your date for on this. Like you be sitting there, like, yeah, I'm voting. I'm thinking about voting for Trump. There's some women who would just get up and leave.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that
there's
would,
definitely a good contingent that would
for sure.
I think if you approach the conversation in the proper way, there's a way that like y'all can have a really good conversation.
I think so too.
I think it's you don't have to like say I'm voting for this person as much as like question both sides. So like you can question Trump a bunch and then question Kamala, and that can lead for like a more well-rounded conversation.
And by the
And
end
then
of
you
it,
can
she's
tell
still not gonna care by the end. Like,
well, no, but what you can see inside that, like I've had those conversations before. You can see like how biased of a thing and dogmatic to just like I'm a shield for this specific thing, or as much as like, you know what I mean, like this is what I'm doing, but I understand this whole scope of a thing, and I think that there's a difference in that.
Yeah,
but real all right. So what were you talking about? You said on first dates, the real fun conversation. What were you talking? We kept saying like gender roles and stuff like that. So I'm trying to understand.
What I'm saying is like even politics. I'm talking about just adult conversation. Adult conversation, not necessarily gender roles. Yeah, that was just.
But I also wouldn't like just fire off politics. If you can find your way into it,
it just came up.
No, so we just I'm just asking you to keep just name down some of the things that you're talking about, so I can get a framing of what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I also will input again. This shit's been a long time since. I don't watch. Well, I guess that will be to me. That's like a
lot of girls watch Netflix. They love Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a fire,
if it's
that's
nice
like
series,
that's got like layers to it. I don't know, like talking about power and on the like, who cares, bro? Like that. I wouldn't want to.
That's not that.
Oh,
I was about to say I don't know too many people who sit there and talk about that in relationships anyway most of the time, or not that I know of, unless you're watching the show together.
I feel like a first date, like
yeah, first date. I'm not talking about no power. It's so many conversations.
But I'm saying, like what I'm saying is that like it would that's probably a normal thing. Like guys going on dates and like talking about power and like these different
it has to be a weird way for it to get there.
Well, I mean,
like if somebody's like, what do you like to do? And they say I like to watch, I like binge
TV,
watching.
what are you watching?
Yeah, and then you can kind of get into it.
I don't think
that way.
there's something that will be very, very normal of a conversation. Like you how easily how you went into it. To me, that's like just getting to know somebody, which would just be, you know what I mean? Like, what do you like to do? Oh, what are you binging right now?
What you was doing last night?
Well, most people are watching.
But that's kind of like
TV.
That's first dates in general. It's like there's this blanket thing.
I thought that's what your question was. You asked me what was the things you would say on the first.
Oh yeah. Oh, you. But I think you were saying
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't use that one. That would be like bullshit. So let me think. I mean, I would a lot of it, especially in today's time when you got the phone shit, just like having videos that you know what I mean, that you thought were funny. You know what I mean? Showing it, just kind of trying to see, you know, exactly where your level of your humor is.
You know what I would love to fucking do? I wish that we could get real on a first date. This is hilarious, actually.
Oh,
I would love to see you.
It's been a long.
I know we can't do it inside like the.
Oh, for
because
sure.
you're married.
Can't do it. Yeah.
I think that shit would be hilarious.
It probably would
seeing
be.
real navigate.
No bullshit. It probably would.
Bro, if it was
Real
a TV
like,
show,
hey,
we would have to run.
No. That one would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious, bro.
For sure. Especially like on the traditional side of all of this shit.
You like Kamala or Trump?
Hey, Red, as long as they ain't got no iPhone, that ain't gonna go.
Bro, I about want you to skip.
I'm telling you, bro. Hey, no, look. I ain't saying
on his
that,
first date in 20 years or some shit like that.
Let me give my boy some slight advice. And this is not a slight to iPhone users, right? What I'm telling you is if she uses a Samsung, right? Pay attention to it. She didn't follow the trend, which means something about her. Pay attention to it. That's a little joint for you, Johnny. I'm telling you.
If she got a Samsung, she smoked with cigarettes.
She crazy.
I'm telling you, Johnny. I'm telling you. Pay attention to it.
But it got that grip.
All of the cool.
You got to look at it. Like y'all know those women where they post that picture, but that cigarette be like right down there somewhere. Or be trying.
You see the smoke coming up to the bottom.
Bro, she got an iPhone, bro.
She got the Samsung. I ain't
She
gonna
got
lie
an
to
iPhone,
you.
bro. The iPhone, they take more pictures of themselves too.
Nah.
Just pay attention to it, Johnny. Anytime you see a motherfucker doing a selfie in the car, it's always with an iPhone.
Yeah, I wouldn't date a chick with an Android.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, that was
All right, let's go ahead and
move on. Here he go,
let's get
15.
go to the comments, Cole. We go. But so the iPhone is.
Hey, I said what I
I'll
said,
let you
bro.
chill on it.
The iPhone, his red flag, but being white
Caucasus
is not.
Mountains ain't.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead, continue.
I said it
Let's
straight
go
on
to the-
here. Oh,
let's
but
go to the
being
comments,
white
man.
ain't in the checkout, but not having that iPhone. So having an iPhone is more important.
Johnny
than-
like women's.
Yeah, like I don't
women's.
discriminate.
Mm-hmm.
I done been
Big. Tell them what you did with them big ones.
nothing.
Was it just big or was it back big?
I put them over the rails room.
Bear built big back. What you did with that last bear built big back that you had? That you had to sleep. What? Never mind. Go ahead.
No, I ain't. I'm too skinny. A rollover might. do me
That's
over.
what they like. They always like the skinny dudes.
Okay, they can like that. But I mean, I gotta be able to pick mine up.
But you weigh like them, man. Go ahead. Let's go to the
Johnny said he got to.
You see how ain't nobody believing when he said.
Okay.
You a little dude, Johnny. Pause.
That's a pause.
Just wanna
Johnny
make
do
sure.
look like one of them joints that have a big joint.
He might as
He
well
like
get
one
him
of them-
a big joint.
Like I
Might
can
as
see
well.
it, bro. Like you have one of the tall big
I mean,
joints.
I ain't
too.
saying I ain't never.
She'll
been,
ride too.
but that ain't ideal. That
But
ain't
what
it.
you so you are for like the 6 foot Amazon Jones now.
No, we had this.
Bro, don't lie. Just say you'll climb that tree, bro.
You like tall women?
Yeah.
I like tall women. I ain't against them, bro. Some people don't
You
like.
can pick
I mean,
up a
you
tall
short
woman.
though, so like that makes
I
sense.
mean, it just it ain't about how tall she is. It's about how heavy she is. So she's like.
I mean, you get the taller she get, the heavier she gonna be.
Is she woman built, or you only want the model tall Jones?
Yeah.
Now you talking about
it's
white
tall,
women.
like it gotta
White.
He went back to
Nah.
white women.
I want volleyball tall.
Yeah, volleyball.
Volleyball tall is where
Volleyball tall gonna come with some weight too, though.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Hey,
it.
That's
Hey,
the
nah,
stallion.
you know who the baddest joints is? The track girls.
Nah, they better than the volleyball.
Nah.
joints, bro.
Volleyball was
Volleyball.
different.
be-
Volleyball
I ain't
was
gonna lie.
different, bro.
I'm not like the biggest fan of muscles on women.
No, I'm not either. I'm cool on that, John.
They'll be having
Be
like,
toned.
they'll be having like UFC muscles.
Abs and shit.
The volleyball
Oh,
girls don't do nothing but squats
Yeah.
all day. All they
Shout
do
out
is
to Kari Richardson.
all the
She
all the
cool, but-
volleyball girls do
Oh,
is squat
damn, you
all
know
day.
bad.
You seen Sydney
much,
McLaughlin?
No, I don't know who that is.
We all over the place, bro. Look, we got about 30 minutes left. We're gonna do another topic or no?
Oh,
Johnny.
Oh, let's read some comments. bro.
yeah, I'm just gonna read them real
We ain't
quick.
been doing no comments this whole time.
You missed a lot. The nuclear family is a relatively new way to construct families, and it's a very Western concept.
Yeah, I
Hold
was
on,
actually
hold
doing what is this? Is it modern, postmodern, and it's something. I was doing some research just on that whole concept in which, yeah. All right, so cool. It's coming back to me now. So the modern, like technical modern, like construct of a family is what we call the two-family traditional nuclear family, which kind of like made
You said that's modern?
Yeah, inside the sense of like there's I can't remember what's pre-modern. I can't remember the terminology, but this is how like they date like segments of time frame in society and how it's made, in which like the modern version of that, which is like the 1910s up until like 1970s or some shit like that, was pretty much what we call the nuclear traditional family. Postmodern is more so what we're inside right now.
Right.
Blended.
Yeah, but the general construct, as that person was saying, of the whatchamacallit family is a newer.
What was before?
I can't give you those answers.
1910?
Yeah, I can't give you those answers. I think
that's
I was
why
triggered.
I'm lost at.
I was
like it would have still been
It's
nuclear.
still
my bad.
nuclear. Yeah.
Again,
I
I can't.
nuclear
And
up
maybe,
until
Because I was like, how's that new? That
and
like, this
maybe it
makes
goes
sense
back.
that families.
And maybe it goes back further to like the 1800s or something like that. Like right now, I'm snowballing. So
Got you. I mean,
like right now, I'm remembering. So I was doing this research in the sense of the woke topic that we did, and so when looking up woke, you hear the word postmodern, and then you hear like things like postmodern feminist, postmodern, So I had to understand what this terminology meant. So then I had to do a deep dive of like understanding like what was modern, postmodern, XYZ. So I can't remember what was pre-modern, but I know that like a lot of it picked up at modern and then postmodern in general, where it kind of denoted those things, which I guess maybe it was, but to my understanding that it seemed like they started categorizing modern during that time frame.
And okay, I think we also defined the nuclear family was what the
man, woman, kids.
Okay, so like, why would that be Western?
And why would it be new?
Why would it be new or Western?
Oh well, Western would be because of polyamory.
I understand that, but would you think the same thing is probably like happening in?
But you had like different family structures because of you would have like men with multiple wives, the polyamorous, right. Like all those different different little constructs.
Oh, so
but then you could also say
about,
that like according to like the red pill people, like Mad Men wasn't having wives and kids back in the day. I don't know.
With a king, like if you had a king,
like I don't have this research, so I can't go there. But that's what they usually spill out: the fact that like being married, like having a wife, was for a select few, and people didn't like most men didn't populate the world and shit like that. I haven't did my research.
You said most men didn't populate the world?
Yeah, it was like supposed to be of like select few, and this is why they now say like most men should get like one to whatever.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right, bro. I don't even want to hear too much of shit that niggas be talking about.
I know from history that family was very important, and them keeping families together and knowing who the dad and the father was very important.
And them taking care of his kids. Like when the fuck was that not a thing?
I know that in most recent history, I know, and even beyond, like.
Most recent is definitely true.
Like it was definitely about having the family together and everything. That was even with the Hebrew, like going back in the Bible, like the reason they was marrying each other. They wasn't supposed to marry anybody else. They had to marry other Hebrews. Like,
but I guess
what very important
too is like there's been a bunch of different family structures over time. Whether you say it's a man with multiple women, a woman that got multiple guys, or like whatever in between of that, like. Being just one man, one woman, and kids,
I just
has not been.
That's a new concept. I don't think that's a new concept.
Okay.
Crime is at like 30-year lows.
Yeah.
I think as Steve, I agree. It's good to be an individual and just the way and dress the way that you like. She put it here. The new generation don't have respect for themselves, so you know they're not going to have respect for their elders.
That's a shot for Trey.
I don't think she's talking about. We not the new generation.
Shout out to New Generation Drill Team.
Shout out to New Generation.
But I disagree with that though. I think every
told you
the
young girls about cuss my ass out at the goddamn
somebody pointed something out to me about this new generation though, and it's kind of changed my views a little bit. They was like, this new generation is warriors. And that we need to stop getting in the way of what their purpose might be, because they might be fighting. Like
there's the perspective. I can see that perspective,
and I can see that too. That's like the kids that I've seen, and I wouldn't have believed it, bro. But some of the teens I've been around, they think and they talk about a lot more than what's being told to us. Like you have the degenerates. That's all we hear about, and that's always what you hear about the degenerates.
But every generation has
the degenerates, and they always the ones who speak for the generation. But it's not. It's not always about them.
Depending on how things go with this election and all this, and how we ain't really so much space. If we go into a war, we need them warrior niggas to go and be over there fighting. Because if you think about when I was in the military, what's all this about, bro? You're
doing the thing of like one of the people that get elected is going to make the next world war.
No, I don't think there's a way around it. That's why I say it don't really matter. I think that the war is coming regardless. I don't think that there's something that we're going to be able to do to make it not happen.
When do you think this war is going to come? Just so
I think it'll be within the next. I'm gonna say at least within the next decade.
Oh, you talking about like further out? Okay.
Within within the next decade.
So many things can happen in a decade. I thought you was talking about like this next election cycle.
No, that's why. Kind of when I said the election and then I moved on, I tried to like omit that part, because I don't think it's so much. I don't think it's really based on who gets elected, really.
So you're talking about like the next generation, because that wouldn't even be this generation for real. And I guess you're saying like if they're getting drafted at 28 or something like that.
Getting drafted at 28.
It sounded like you were saying that they should be ready to go to war because the war is coming.
No. What I'm saying is that we
if they warriors, they got to
because at the end of the day, this whole warrior shit, we just doing a whole bunch of killing each other. But if you gonna make it productive, when you call it warrior, that's what he's talking about.
I think it's about like rebelling against old
that's what I'm talking about. Like rebelling against old ideologies. They don't think the same, bro. They're not gonna tolerate that stuff. And I think like what's gonna be the thing is they're gonna speak about it. They speaking up about it, bro.
They talking about you talking about more of like the acceptance of like LGBT stuff.
No, I'm not talking about that.
The acceptance of like
this is what I'm saying. A lot of the stuff they telling us these teens are accepting, they don't. Like when you actually start to get to talk to them and you start to hear the stuff that they saying, the ideas that they telling us that the new generation think is being fed to us to make us think, and it's being fed to them.
Well, I can tell you this. So just make sense. So okay. So at the place that Rent the Rooms at, right? There's a teenager that lives there. I think like 14, something like that. And she walks around and talks very loud with her phone on speakerphone all day. Mm-hmm. So you can listen to what they talk about all day. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty much the same shit that you assume, which is honestly, it's like super consumed with having a boyfriend, all this type. Well, I don't mean to put nobody's pertinent. Just to say, I've listened to like, no. I just don't want to talk about nobody specific, and then because that was very specific. If
but
you know
but
me,
like talking about having a boyfriend, every 14-year-old girl has always talked about it.
No, but what I'm saying, then it's all then I got homies who have children around the same age, right? Who have children around the same age, and they're talking about the same things, but it's also a lot of the LGBT stuff and how, you know what I mean? It's a lot of the we aren't so fucking far off. So in my opinion, based on what I'm used listening to them talk about.
So the 14-year-old girl at the Holiday Inn, mm-hmm. that when you was cleaning up and you overheard her,
he just making.
No.
I got you. Sorry, I got you. Go ahead.
So with that, what would have been like would you say that like a minority of the conversation ends up being LGBTQ XYA?
Well, I mean, their friends are LGBTQIG,
right?
So like this is like a conversation of being like it's like very much normal. I don't think that they're talking about things outside of what we believe they're talking about.
Yeah,
it seems as though this is exactly.
To me, I'd be more worried with like boys being like having those conversations. My issue is that like
having what conversation?
Like about LGBTQ and like what really we're talking about like being gay or not, more times than not. But I would just say that teenage girls that at least from like I just put it at like I graduated in 05. And I done lived with a teenage girl pretty much my entire high school career. And how fluid their sexuality had been during that time had all like it's no different than right now. They wasn't like transitioning to like studs or anything like that. But like even like the drill team, we had what was her name? Quirk. It was something like that. Like we had a snare drum player that in high school was completely like butched out. Stud. Which one is for black people? Stud, I think. Yeah. She was a doorknob. And like at the end of the day,
doorknob,
stud. Ain't that what those things is? Like
I'm gonna let you have that. I ain't
door stop. Door stop. There we go. Stop. Door stop. There we go. Here's something that you can nail it. Yeah, never mind.
Real got stud on
Put him up to the woman head like there you go. Even in the dress, I could spot you. But no, nonetheless, like I said, I would say, like, if I just use my anecdotal evidence of like these groups of women, like from people as close that I know of, a lot of them girls in high school, they had a little phase. That was
talking about whole phase.
No, a gay phase.
So,
a gay phase. They all had a gay phase. No, my bad. I'm saying all. No. I ain't putting the word all on it. I would say they all had friends that had a gay phase, and I would put it at like it wasn't a minority of girls that had like some version of a gay phase.
And you say guys can't have a gay phase?
No.
My thing is,
well, Johnny, that like
I was about to say,
I want to hear you go on that ledge.
Yeah, go ahead on that ledge,
bro.
You
missed out on something. You feel like?
No,
well, tell them about what you were saying you did at USC.
Fuck bitches. And skip class. Smoke a little weed.
I'm about to incriminate myself. Fuck that. I ain't getting in line with that.
That was way too far. He said, shit, I do 30 days. Fuck the 30
Yeah.
days.
No, what I'm saying is that to me, to like even like for it to really hit, I would have to hear like the regular boys now talk about like wanting to experiment. Like when it reaches over there, then I'm gonna tap out. But if we're talking about like a girl that has gay friends that are like female gay, in my anecdotal, and so I can't like back this up with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But like I know people that I live with that were my age, that were teens, and their friend group, that wasn't like a rarity. I'll definitely say that.
I guess you know something too. Let me just real quick. Something I feel like this is a little piece of because of like I think that the idle mind of like young teenage young girls, as men, we didn't even talk about women as much as they talk about men. Like we didn't talk about girls as much, like because it's like super all day. Like literally super all day. I think that let's get some hobbies, bro. Try to get you because they're literally thinking about that shit. Boys way be talking about when they talk on the phone. We was doing shit. We was going to play basketball and football and like we weren't just sitting all day talking about girls.
We didn't have, but after we did that, we was gonna talk.
Then we gonna write some raps.
Nah,
then we gonna we did all kind of shit.
Most niggas ain't just writing raps and playing, but like we
did all kind of. We do talk about it, but it's nowhere near
girls. I had the same way, bro. Like girls,
it's nowhere near as much, bro.
Girls is like they be sitting there and it's been like it ain't. They been like this.
I didn't know it was like that, and then when I see it, I was like, that's probably always been that way.
Yeah,
I can see the point, but I also would just say like niggas was like when you had next, you was gonna talk about like what you was trying to smack.
Not talk about the same way that we was talking
about. But I will concede that women talk about like especially young girls talk about boys more than boys talk about girls. But boys be hunting and they want to hunt and they like. I'm just not going to omit us. But I think that if we're saying who does it more, I concede it. That's okay.
Yeah, but not dudes. Yeah, I remember. Where the fuck are we at? Hey, shout out David Walker, boy. We used to go up to the malls and.
Hey, Johnny, ask you a question. We're gonna run out of time.
Yeah, we about out of time already.
Yeah.
I was just going. 20 minutes. I didn't know if y'all wanted to just finish this one or get into mine.
We got 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. Well, my question is: have we become desensitized to our own trauma as Black people in this country, or just as people?
Oh, you put the Black people on there. Okay. I didn't know where you was going.
I added that. I just added that. I just added Black people. The question was, are we desensitized to our own trauma?
So, Johnny, I guess I want to like ping it straight to you first. Do you think that you are desensitized to any trauma or traumatic experiences that you have recently or will experience?
This motherfucker.
What did I say? I ain't say nothing.
Hey, this is about the people.
That shit wounded him too, bro. That was traumatic. Wounded him, bro.
I don't know. This is like
it was traumatic.
It wasn't traumatic.
Listen, I ain't asking you to like expose nothing. All I'm asking is like when we're talking about the subject.
Well, like me personally, no, I'm very sensitive. Like and like I like when it comes to like me, like I'm very aware. Like when it's like my sensitive, I see something that might trigger me. Like I'm personally like very sensitive. Now, I got different triggers than like a lot of people. And everybody got different triggers. But
what if she call you short? That's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
that's cool. Hey, okay. I told you it only matter when you standing up. It's the only time that matter. But yeah, I mean, now we talking about like music.
What if she call you Black?
Blackie.
What if she call you a tether?
Hey, well, she better not be saying that. She
Ma say, what is a hood tether?
Uh-oh. Hey, no, they was hey, shout out.
That wasn't me.
They were going at Trey. That was a good one.
They were calling Trey a tether?
They was calling him a
hood tether.
The HT.
Oh, I see. That's funny.
Yeah.
That nigga Harris Teeter, bro. He don't go to Food Line. He don't go to Harris Teeter, bro.
Yeah. Once he started using the us, and then he was it they started calling him a hood teller in the chat.
That's funny.
But yeah, that's neither here nor there.
But and let me, because like the question wasn't about me. I mean, personally, I'm sensitive and like I can spot my triggers and I try to avoid them. Or if it happened, I'll do it. But like I was talking more so like if we look at like the music we listen to, the movies that we watch, like even the news, when like something bad happens, how they like just replay it. I was watching like it was a school shooting down in Georgia a couple weeks ago, and they were just like replaying like the people crying, and like I mean it was just like an hour straight of them just replaying it. And then I was watching another one. There's so many school shootings that happen that I just don't even pay attention to it no more. It's like I hear about it and watch it 30 seconds and then I'll just flip it off, and it's like they don't even like click. But 5-10 years ago, I'd see it and be like, damn, that shit sucks. Like I remember when like the Sandy Hook shit happened. I was like about to cry. I was like, damn, that shit hurts. But then this one that just happened, I looked at it for 30 minutes and then turned the TV, turned the football game off and just moved on. It's like even like the George Floyd shit where they showed that man dying over and over and over and over and over and over. And it was just trivialized. And like they got that man face all over the place. And like the last thing we saw of him was him crying for his mom on the ground. And it's like people don't even talk about like how fucked up that is.
No,
and
I like
it's
your
like
question.
we just get over that and we just act like it's
I didn't think I
nothing.
liked it that much. And now that he's
so really
the
the question is more so are we desensitized to our own destruction?
Trauma, destruction, all of that. But I think
you said downplaying trauma, but desensitized, I definitely say like because I don't know if we downplaying trauma. I think a lot of people be up in their trauma, but desensitized is a whole different thing. That's we are.
Because fair. Like even like video games, like Call of Duty, motherfuckers be killing each other.
Bro,
I think that's a little bit different, but
I can tell you for a fact, watching Power and BMF definitely desensitized me to a degree with certain stuff. Like it's like, and I realized it one day. I was like, I feel too comfortable watching this. Like I'm too cool with the fact that I'm watching this and not feeling anything.
I don't fuck with. So like people always talk about boundaries. Like for me, that's one of my boundaries. I don't watch ever since, and which I know they didn't. The last one last like police killing thing that I watched was Sandra Bland. I haven't watched one since then because I actually don't want to be desensitized to black people dying. By the police. I don't want to watch the shit. I actually have real emotions that happen and it's not just anger. It's, you know what I mean? It's sadness, real emotion. So like, I really don't, and I don't watch like BMF and all that stuff. I actually love listening to the stories though. Like on Vlad, listening to them tell their stories. I love them telling it, you know what I mean? Because you can use your imagination, but like, I don't like just watching death. You know what I mean? That's not something that I just fucking like to do. But one thing I will say is and I'm actually going to ask my therapist, like, I'm a master compartmentalizer, bro. I think that like that's something that I think that we I can't really speak for like as a woman, but I think as men, we are master compartmentalizers.
Do you think men, or are you speaking specifically for you?
Well, I say me, but then I think men in general, a lot of men that I know are as well.
We talked about like it's almost like a necessity.
That's what I'm saying. Like I literally
survival skill is
a survival. It's a defense mechanism. Like that's how I look at it. Is like even I got so good to the point to where like I don't even remember things because I know that like that's just how my mind works. Somebody will bring something up and I like compartmentalize and put that box way back in the back, and I don't even remember that shit. And then at random, like I can feel like it'll pop in my head, and the emotion from that thing will come back in at random time. I think that like, but then I throw that motherfucker back and then push that motherfucker back in deep. You know what I mean? I keep it deep back in there. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's a survival tactic for me. Like it's a defense mechanism to keep sanity and or what my idea of sanity for myself is, and to make sure that it doesn't that the acceptance or acknowledgement of all these different things does not prohibit me from being productive and checking the boxes, my responsibility boxes. So I think that we naturally are doing that as and then some people it's become entertainment for them. You know what I mean? So that's the level of being desensitized. as well, to where it's like it happens. You can see it so much, or like people getting beat up and stomped and all that. Like all of those Fight World Star videos.
Pages,
I've never been that guy to like to see a motherfucker get the dog shit beat out of him. Like that's never been my thing, bro.
I got a homeboy. He from Colombia, and like his pop or his uncle is like a cop in Colombia, like the country. He's a Colombian, and so he like a top like detective or something. But he be getting all kind of videos from like over there shooting crime scene videos, and he just be looking at them and be like, huh. And he like showed me stuff, and there's been people getting their head like this super graphic stuff, and I be about to throw up.
Yeah,
and he just, I'd be like, bro, how do you sleep at night? like how do you watch that? And then like,
well, what they say about what the like during World War II is that like you'll be amazed at what the human, psyche can normalize. And that's on both sides. If there's mass extermination or your people getting exterminated in mass. I guess like your question is, are we desensitized to our trauma in general? And making sure I understand the framework is in like America.
Like yes,
not even like specific to a different thing. And I think like either way you frame it, I'll probably say yes. Because everything that y'all said, I don't think that's this specifically a disagreeable thing when we talk about desensitized, where whether you go the George Floyd or a Hispanic getting their head chopped off by the cartel or some shit like that. These are all things that we see daily. And I mean, like, I'm not gonna be like the parental advisory police, but I think like even the Call of Duties and like the shooting games or the Grand Theft Autos, like there is a space where it normalizes a behavior and like an idea of like whether it's killing or doing XYZ, where these especially the better graphics get, like these aren't things that are explicitly in the forefront of a human psyche outside of seeing these things.
I would say, that new GTA, that joint's supposed to be crazy. Like it's supposed to be so graphic that they have to scan your face to make sure that you're old enough to purchase it.
I get it, but even like right now, where they have like the little free play that they have,
the servers.
And like right now you can I guess it seems like you can kind of walk around in like GTA world. And like niggas just act like they gang members on the gang.
See, that's different than Call of Duty though. So like I just want to make that separation. That GTA
I think
Call
both
of Duty,
of them
that's two different things.
But I think both of them are bad though when it comes down to like normalizing.
Call of Duty has the same it's like because it's literally like Grand Theft Auto.
Call of Duty is centered more around killing.
Like it's like war though.
I can guarantee you, like probably like on the
it's like
on a high
military war though. It's not
like, but it's still
they count your kills. Like that's the biggest like
it desensitized the idea of kill.
I understand what you're saying. Or maybe
I can almost guarantee you, like everybody that's been a shooter.
GTA,
I can only GTA makes it like a world where you can go and buy guns at the gun store and get a prostitute and get her, she'll come to your car. Like that's actually like a lifestyle. You know what I mean?
And now on the internet, they literally like pretend ganging on GTA, whatever their whole little thing is. And you hear like the little like when people post like I forget what the Twitches of them.
I'm probably still gonna get that GTA
like,
though.
I ain't gonna front.
But I ain't gonna watch Power though. But I probably still.
And again, like but I think that's understanding, quote unquote, our participation inside.
Yeah,
whether
it's for sure.
Desensitization or quote unquote dysfunction, in which I'm not an advocate for perfect human beings. I don't think that anybody is that. And like we all have our thing that we might be like, I can see where it is, but we still indulge in it and still engage in it. Like we're still all human. So I'm not even like trying to like demonize or say that it's wrong. But I also would say to Johnny's question, I think all these things are like
each other for sure.
Things that like go into the whole desensitization process.
And I'll add this at the end, and I don't think that's completely a bad thing. I think like you do need, like as a survival skill, like you do need a little bit of DC. You can't be super sensitive all the time. You got to be able to take a little something and keep on going. Now you can't be to the extreme, but I think a little bit of desensitization is what kind of like makes you tougher, like a callus on your skin almost. It's like you lift weights You get that Cali, it makes you a little tougher. So I think a little bit of it is it helps.
I don't know if I agree with that because most of the stuff, most of the stuff that we get
should have been your
desensitized
question.
to.
I don't know why you didn't do that.
It seems like most of the stuff we desensitized to don't be good for us, like killing. Like
unnatural death. We should.
I don't think killing should be desensitized.
Get used to that shit.
Yeah, like the proper way to frame this.
Death is a part of life, though.
Yeah, but unnatural death, unnatural death,
yeah, murder, stuff like that. Yeah,
yes, but what I'm saying is we shouldn't make it so that we don't give a fuck. Have you seen the results of? But hold on, have you seen the results of these kids? Or they no longer kids now, but like that had to be desensitized to their homeboys getting killed. Like that is a thing. Like that you listen to these guys from Chicago talk about it, and you can see the desensitization, and you can listen to the hurt and the real.
It shouldn't be a normal thing.
That's manifesting on the inside of them. That the reason that they doing the lean and all of these drugs like they doing them. That you can see that in the story. It all makes sense, and it's like, nah, let's not try to desensitize ourselves to unnatural death. But I do understand what you're saying. We do need that callous as. I would say that depending on what you're talking about,
and maybe the word is not desensitized, but maybe we need a little more to compartmentalization about some of the stuff where you can't be overly sensitive to life, and like because a lot of these bad things are going to happen. Like there's people I've seen something it's like 160,000 people die every day. Like there is
a difference between natural death and
that's what I'm saying. Specifically,
murder. We shouldn't be.
But even unnatural death, like people get in car accidents all the time. It's not natural, but that's a part of life. Like there's.
Yeah, but
do you think that we should be
desensitized to it though?
What's the positive with it?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Because I mean, it makes you tougher.
Tougher what? Like what you mean?
I guess, and these are like better leading questions in which I think we can even get even further into. Yeah, but it's being tougher always better. Like if you're being tougher, like just means that you watch people die so much that like that's a callous to you. Is that
PTSD?
Good?
But no, that's a great question. I don't know.
Because
that's what you was begging.
The thing is that those types of things manifest themselves in a certain way regardless. You can say like desensitized, but it manifests itself in a way that you may not see, but it's there's a manifestation of that desensitization that still exists that people can see.
Okay, it was a concept. It was a concept.
It was fun.
Of an idea.
It was fun.
I threw it out there, but y'all shot that one down. So.
And just placed your ass in a goddamn nice.
It wasn't a bot.
90 degree.
I didn't argue back. I asked the question.
Yeah, I think we all. Well, it was your last statement. I think we all agreed on the first part. Then. Your last statement. That's what I said. Like that.
Yeah, it wasn't it was an Amazon envelope. Like it was an envelope.
It was an Amazon.
You might want to add that shit. We all. Any last words from the fellas?
That was it.
Nah, I ain't really good.
It was a good show.
Tone?
Nah, it's a good show, bro.
That was a good show. It was fun.
Before we get out of here,
the merch. You got the merch.
Follow us at D2B Fair Show. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Hit the like, comment below, hit the notification buttons, get tuned in for us unpacked every Wednesday, 9:30.
Shout out to everybody in the chats. In the chat today for real.
Shout out to the chat. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for 3 whole hours. We'll be back next Sunday.
Hey, tell them about the new special that y'all have on Rails, Johnny.
Bro, get the fuck out of here. Why you had to include me in the bullshit?
OnlyFans, tell them what's the discount code.
Man, hey, go ahead, close the shop,
bro. We shutting it down. We shutting it down.
We ain't got time. Host,
Johnny P.
Old head rim.
It's Q.
We out.
Oh.